Colonel Crawford Golden Eagles look to keep their postseason dreams alive as they welcome Columbus Grove here at Findlay, Ohio. I want to thank all of our sponsors that are bringing you this game live and free tonight. Scout Construction LLC. With more than a decade of business, you can trust Scout Construction with your roofing and siding needs. Call Scout Construction for more information, 419-989-7240. First Federal Community Bank, banking locally just got a little easier. Baker's Pizza, we're proud of the service to the community and even more proud to place to go after every local game or to watch your favorite team in action. Come join us today for a great meal and a great time with friends or family. Schroeder Roofing, if you're looking for a reliable, trustworthy, and efficient roofing company, look no further than Schroeder Roofing. Whether you need help on a small project or a larger job, we want to take the load off your shoulders by providing our specialized services. And Burkhart Farm Center, farmers helping farmers. Stop into their location in Bucyrus today. Can Kamryn Lohr and the Colonel Crawford Golden Eagles continue their postseason journey? Find out when we come back live and free right here on the OH Report after the commercial break. Be handing it over to our friends over at WQEL. You're watching high school football live and free right here on the OH Report.
We toil, we sweat, we live, we breathe, we ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance, we play, we love, we nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend, we heal, we repair, we sow, we plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling. We toil, we sweat, we live, we breathe, we ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance, we play, we love, we nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend, we heal, we repair, we sow, we plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schiefer. Schiefer finds a hole at the center. Schiefer turns on the burners. Schiefer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schiefer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Win Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
About they need Cam Lohr. They don't need him to go out there and necessarily throw for 300 yards. That's not what they're ever going to ask of him, but they do want to be able to have him hit a couple of passes in this game, keep Columbus Grove from being able to key in on that running attack that they've got, and make him just a one-dimensional quarterback who only runs the football. He wants to get it outside, get it out to Vogt, get it out to McMichael, some of these guys out on the wings. I think that's going to be a really big game plan and part of what the Eagles need to do to get a victory here tonight.
Week 13 here from Donnell Stadium in Findlay, Ohio. Game time temperature 34 degrees, overcast skies. Could see some snow flurries. It is wet out there on this turf, so solid grip on the football is key. Colonel Crawford will receive and head south. They are in their traveling all-white uniforms. Very friendly to the eye from the press box. Really clear numbers on those jerseys, but the all-whites with the yellow numerals trimmed in black. They got the black caps and the yellow stickers. For the Columbus Grove Bulldogs, the scarlet tops, the gray pants with the white numerals, silver caps, and the red face mask.
Yeah, I think we're ready to do it here in a very exciting game. I mean, obviously, great crowd out here. The Colonel Crawford stands right across from us, and they've pretty much filled it up. And it goes, 5-yard line to 5-yard line. So great crowd for the Eagles here tonight as well.
We are underway here from Donnell Stadium. A deep end-over-end kick fielded at the 11-yard line. Taken up the middle of the field. Now an opening up at the 25, 27-yard line. And going down at the 28 was number 5, Trevor Vogt.
Yep, Vogt. Just, one ankle tackle away from getting into some open field and potentially a really big play for the Eagles.
Colonel Crawford and Cam Lohr will start this ball game. 1st and 10 they'll actually go from the 28-yard line as see some flurries beginning to fall here in Findlay. Josh Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight on WQEL and the OH Report. Looks like Crawford is going to open up spread formation, 2 receivers left. Go tight end and a wing right, 1 back in the backfield with Lohr. Double tight set, 1st and 10. Lohr takes the snap, gives off, back straight ahead over the 30, and down is Kleinert for about a 3-yard gain for the big back. Kleinert, the senior running back, has that club. Tough kid, though. He's going to run it. He'll play with that.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about every week when we see it, Kleinert, part of what we like about him is not only his ability to run, but when he blocks, he's aggressive. He'll get through that hole, and he'll lead block and takes it on. There, unfortunately, the play kind of got halted a little bit. High snap, messed up the timing.
Here's 2nd and 7, same formation. Lohr going to keep it. Shotgun snap. He's at the 35, 40, and Lohr goes down up over the 40 at the 43-yard line. Nice opening opened up there for Cam Lohr. And Lohr doing a nice job to pick up the 1st down, keep this drive going.
Outstanding job by the right side of the offensive line. Big hole for Cam Lohr. And, he's 7-8 yards, maybe even further than that downfield before anybody from Columbus Grove even gets close to him, let alone an opportunity to make the tackle.
Micah Thomas checks in now on 1st and 10. Ball at the 43. Bulldogs showing a 4-4 defense. Now more of a 4-3. 7 guys in the box, split backs on either side of Lohr. Motion left to right on 1st and 10. Has the snap. He's going to give to Thomas. Thomas sheds a tackle in the backfield, breaks another, but he's not able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Broke 2 tackles on that play, lost half a yard.
Yeah, unfortunately, defender in the backfield right on his hip as he got the handoff. Did actually an outstanding job of actually making about a half-yard pickup or so. Maybe just get back to the line of scrimmage, but that was an outstanding individual effort by Micah Thomas because he probably should have been hit for about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
3 plays, 3 runs for the Eagles. Opening drive of the ball game here in Week 13. 2 receivers left, back on the right. Now they'll shift. Kleiner goes from left to right. Tight end in the wing, go right to left. Kleiner gets the ball. Kleiner is trying to stretch it, and no room out there. No gain on that play. Nice job by the defense to flow that way.
Yeah, great job right there. Landon Schroeder, linebacker. He just kind of undercut the lineman who was blocking him. And, again, didn't do an amazing job. It's not like he shedded it. He just got low on him, undercut him. But then it took away the hole, and he was able to kind of stand up and, not really completely up, but got up to his knees, was able to get underneath Kleiner to get the stop.
3rd and 10 from the 43. Vogt, Horsley come wide to the right. Lone receiver on the left side and a wing right. Snap back to Lohr in the gun. Lohr wants to throw. Nice pocket. Comes near side, and the pass is high for the intended receiver. Almost intercepted.
Got tipped, though.
Tipped at the line of scrimmage. He had some pressure coming in, and that's going to force an Eagle punt.
Yeah, I don't even think they tipped the ball. I think they got his arm. Defensive end coming around the edge, able to get a handle on Lohr's arm, and that one just kind of knocked it, made it a wobbly, loose pass. And again, Colonel Crawford not really designed to be a team that wants to be in a lot of 3rd and 10s. Most teams don't, but especially a team that really likes to run the football. That's not their game plan.
Number 3, Trent Barraza is back. He's going to drop back to the 25, let it skip, and it's going to take a nice Eagle bounce inside the 20 and get close to the 15-yard line. Nice punt by Matt Kleiner. And Colonel Crawford and Kleiner doing a nice job of flipping the field on the Bulldogs.
I thought that was a underrated aspect of last week's game was how good the special teams were, and they were making teams end up making each other have to go long distances to score. And if you don't score, that's the key. Drop them deep and make the other team go a long distance. That's what the Bulldogs are looking at.
Now out on the field is the senior quarterback, Brenton Renner, 6 foot, 165. Bulldogs will send 2 to the right, 1 to the left on 1st and 10. A.J. Schaefer, the back in the backfield. Motion man, and they're going to give it to him on the little end around, stretching it wider, and he's getting further away, and that is Barraza dropped for a loss. About a loss of 1 on that play, just trying to keep going outside, and Crawford flowing that direction and dropping for a 1-yard loss.
They ran the play well, actually. If you're looking at it, they're just expecting their guys who are lead blocking to be able to take the Colonel Crawford defenders out of the play, and they couldn't. They just kept stringing it out and did a great job of getting in front of Barraza and make a nice tackle.
Now Barraza will line up in a slot left. We'll split the trips left side. Renner in a gun again on 2nd and 11. Fakes the handoff, wants to throw. Nice pocket, now flush to the right side, downfield, into traffic, and it's deflected and incomplete. Nice job by the safety. I think that was Vogt coming up to get a hand on it and deflected away. Now 3rd and 11.
And again, well scouted out there. Shep Hawker, the #1 receiver for the Bulldogs on the season, had 27 catches. And you could see Vogt was almost kind of, playing off of him a little bit. Like almost he was trying to get Renner to make a pass that was going to be dangerous. And he did. And Vogt stepped in front of it, had a real opportunity to get the interception, just couldn't get the handle on it.
Trips left with a wing. Lawson Mag, wide right. Shotgun again. He is going to hand off. That is A.J. who's moving straight ahead, and a nice run on 3rd and long. And A.J. Schaefer is going to get him to about 3rd and 3, but that's going to bring the punt team out. And the quarterback, Brenton Renner, doubles as the punter. So 3 and out for the Bulldogs on their first possession. 8:14 and counting here in the first quarter from Donnell Stadium.
Strong defensive tackle there from McMichael. He ended up making the tackle from behind. And that was big because the safety had pulled up on the play. And if he gets through that, if Schaefer does, there's no Colonel Crawford players there. They're going to end up having to chase him down. So good effort.
Vogt waiting at his 45. And another pretty good punt. Vogt's going to let it bounce. And a bulldog hop, if I've ever seen one, inside the 30. And it's nearing the 22-yard line is where it'll be picked up. Nice punt by Brenton Renner, the quarterback of the Bulldogs, to flip the field on the Eagles.
And again, this is part of the game that you play when you play good defenses, is that, the special teams is the key. You know, if you can get good punts and you make the other team have to go 80 yards, it makes it really challenging to be able to score points, even if you got a high-powered offense. But, you know, whoever shanks one could end up causing some real problems. So good job by Kleinert on the first punt for the Eagles. That one a great job by Runner.
First quarter on WQEL and the OH report. 1st and 10 for the Eagles, their second possession. 2 wide receivers right, tight end left, and in the backfield with Lohr. He'll get it on 1st and 10. That's Kleinert. Kleinert breaks one tackle over the 25 and goes down just over the 25-yard line. Gain of 3 on first down. They're going to try and establish that run game.
Sure are. Columbus Grove, you know, kind of decent size up front, but where they're really tough on defense on this running game is in the middle. Their middle linebacker, you know, he's a good 240-pound middle linebacker, and obviously those are guys like that are pretty tough to block and get out of the play. And there he was on that one, Tad Koch coming over making a nice tackle.
Kleinert again back there with Lohr in the gun. He is going to fake it to him, and now Lohr bounces it left side. Lohr 30, jump cut at the 33 and gets up to the 35-yard line, and another first down for the Eagles. Nice fake there by Cam Lohr. Defense, no contain.
I'll tell you what, you know, Colonel Crawford's most successful plays, both drives so far, have been Cam Lohr runs, something that Columbus Grove is really kind of keying in on. Kleinert, Micah Thomas on the one carry. They're looking at the backs, and they're losing the quarterback.
Here's 1st and 10 for Crawford, split backs with Lohr, lone receiver out wide right. That is Vogt. Handoff goes to Kleinert, and he's wrapped up for a loss.
It's an exceptional tackle.
Nice job by the Bulldogs. Getting through was number 14, Landon Schroeder.
Yep, just coming through, and like you said, you know, he was kind of down on the ground, but, you know, he cut into the backfield and was able to just get him right around the ankle. Hole was there. If he gets past it, he's going to get some yardage, but an outstanding job reaching out while the defender's down on the ground to make the tackle.
Now 2nd and long for Crawford. They've had 5 runs, 1 pass. Kleinert deep with Lohr. 2 wide receiver set. Lohr's going to keep it. Straight quarterback run left side. Lohr is over the line of scrimmage, and a scamper of about 3 will be a manageable 3rd and 7.
Yeah, ideally.
So see where they go to the air second time tonight.
Yeah, ideally, I think, you know, kind of hoping that maybe you get a couple more yards on that play. But the 3rd and 7 probably still puts them in a position where they're going to be looking at throwing the football. And if you're the defense, that makes things a lot easier in play calling. You know exactly what they're probably going to do. They'll leave probably the linebacker in the middle to just spy on Lohr, but everybody else is going to drop back in the coverage.
A little bit of a package change. Bring an extra receiver and a different tight end. 2 receivers left. Vote the lone receiver to the wide side of the field right below us. Now he's going to go in motion. Jet motion. He fakes it to him. Lohr wants to throw. Nice pocket. Steps up. Heaves it. Open. First down over at the 48-yard line and going down at the 50. And I think that was the tight end. That was Kleinert coming out of the backfield.
Great play right there. Just well executed, and more importantly, it happens because of an outstanding job up front by that offensive line. You know, it's Lohr all day just to sit there, scan the field. I don't think Kleinert. Yeah, Kleinert's not the initial target on that play. He's not his first target. But when that guy's covered, he just kind of went through his progressions because he had time. Good job by the offensive line.
Another 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Vogt and Horsley come wide right. We got a tight end and a wing. Right side, fakes the handoff. Steps up, dumps it off on the short right into the flats. That's Micah Thomas, and Thomas scampers for a gain of 5. Just leaking out from that wing position. Micah Thomas saw a couple carries and some touches last week, doing a nice job offensively against the Blue Devils, and it gets his first touch there.
Yeah, that's a nice play, and it's an efficient first down play. The type of play that I think the Eagles really want to get on their first downs. If they can get 5 yards consistently throughout this game, Jake Bruner will be ecstatic.
Clock moving here in the first quarter, 4:10 and counting. Still no score between the Eagles and the Bulldogs. Horsley, Vogt go wide left. Thomas inside of him on the wing. Kleinert joins Lohr. A little high snap. Lohr gives it to Kleinert. Gets off one tackler. Thrown over the 40-yard line. He's going to be really close to the sticks there, Jeff. A good hard run by Kleinert. And he was actually thrown forward. I think he might be about a foot shy.
He probably is, but still, that is hard power run right there by Kleinert. That is the legs never stopping moving. Like, he was just grinding out every piece of that yard. And, again, makes it a third down and about a yard or so in a scenario where we always look ahead. You know, Colonel Crawford can play call here thinking that we can go for it on fourth down if we don't get it here.
3rd and 1, ball at the 40, big package in for the Eagles. They give to the fullback. I think that's Thomas, and he got just enough.
I think he got it. It's going to be about placement of the ball, but I still think he was in a good spot.
He needed the 39, and both officials come in with their feet on the 39.
Yep.
I don't think we need a measurement. We'll see what the white hat says.
And again, you know, part of it is the head of the football is right at, the tip of the football is right touching the 39, and the flag is, you know, the marker is right at that 39-yard line. So again, you know, going to be a type of scenario where, you know, it's close enough because the ball's not over it. It's just right touching to it. So going to be a tough one to figure out. They'll have to measure. That gives us a chance to thank our sponsors for the broadcast, Brad Walton at BF Walton & Sons Seed Company in Sycamore, Eliza and Matt Cole at Your Great Escape across from McDonald's in Bucyrus, Matt and Tammy Studer at Ken's Standing Seam in New Washington, and Scott Rule at the Galleon Tire Shop. Going to be interesting to see how close this is. I think either way, Colonel Crawford's going to keep going, but I think they're going to get it. I do think they're going to get it.
Stretch
And
it out.
no,
Man.
I'm wrong. Okay,
Just short of the 39-yard line.
The marker was kind of blowing in the wind a little bit. You know, it was just kind of bent. So from where I was looking at, the officials were standing where I couldn't see it, and then I was like, oh, when they moved out of the way, you can see probably about an inch and a half short.
First big decision of the night for head coach Jake Bruner.
Not going to hesitate.
Bruner's first year at the helm of the Eagles.
No hesitation.
Semifinal. Yeah, sends the offense out on the field. Lohr will be under center, 2 backs behind him.
Kleinert going to just
the offset guy,
right behind him, can push in if he needs to.
Lohr fumbled the snap, and he's going to be short.
Oh boy,
he's got to be.
Oh no,
he
the problem is
the snap,
the
and
ball.
I think his knee went down before he even picked the ball up.
That's the problem, is where the ball dripped to. It actually kind of fell ahead, you know, but the question is, because when he went down to grab the ball, his knee was down when he covered it, and it's going to be short. Yep.
The official comes in and gives possession to the Bulldogs. What a stand.
Yeah.
What looked like a gimme on 4th and an inch for Crawford. Defense holds on the fumbled snap, and the Bulldogs take over.
You know, one of the things that, you know, has changed in the game of football, you know, most of the time, even teams that like to run the football go out of the shotgun way more often than they tend to go under the center anymore. And, you know, when you don't have a lot of practice, sometimes that happens. You see it all the time. Even in the NFL, you bring in your backup quarterback or whatever, they get under center and they drop the ball, you know, so little mistake.
Power eye, they're going to go to the deep back, and stretched out wide. Maybe a short gain on that play was Barraza. Barraza trying to use the moves and ended up gaining just about a half yard.
Actually, you know, they kind of got lucky, and I'm talking about Columbus Grove. He was trying to change the hand that, like, he had the ball in his right hand, but he was coming around left, so the defenders were going to come in. So he was trying to move the ball over to the other hand, but the ball almost slipped. So he had to kind of slow down to make sure that he had control of the football, and that just kind of blew up the play.
2 backs in the backfield with Renner. 2 wide receivers right, 1 below us to the left. And some movement up front. I think it's going to be a false start against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
It is.
I was going to say, Isaiah Studer jumped across very quickly and started pointing at the guard saying, yeah, I did that on purpose. And it was a pretty obvious move right there as the offensive guard, little movement. Makes it a tough situation for the Bulldogs now looking at 2nd and long.
2nd and 15 with 2:26 to go first quarter. Still no score here at Donnell Stadium in Findlay. 2 split wide right. Schaefer is the wing. Passing play on 2nd and long. Go to the flats. Right side complete. Trying to get off the open field tackle. Still running in a pickup of 6 yards for number 20, Shep Hawker. Hawker very elusive out there.
Yep. You can see why he's the leading pass catcher for this team. Try to get him out in space, and actually Colonel Crawford had some defenders near him. They just couldn't seem to get him down. He was, like you said, very elusive, doing a nice job getting away from tacklers.
3rd and 7 now from the 41. Bulldogs, their 2nd possession, still in the first quarter. And they're going to come out with trips. Barraza is the slot left. Lone receiver right side on 3rd and 8. Renner wants to throw, looking left. Crawford bringing some heat, tucks it away, still holding it. Now he's just going to flick it out there and into the sideline, incomplete. And that's going to bring up 4th down. Great play, and the linebacker spying.
Yep.
And as soon as Renner fled the pocket, he shot through and really made that play hard for the quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a coverage play, though, because they did a decent job of picking up. They even brought a blitz in the middle, and they picked it up. I mean, A.J. Schaefer was able to take out that blocker or take out that blitzer, but still just nobody open downfield. He was looking around, and he's like, I don't have any options here. Had to throw it away. So good job by the defensive backs of Colonel Crawford.
Second punt for Renner.
Oh, they got it!
It's blocked at the 30. Ball bouncing back inside the 5-yard line. A foot race to it, and it's going to be picked up and covered at the 4-yard line by Colonel Crawford. What a huge play.
Outstanding. I thought they were bringing it, when they were bringing him in, I'm like, first guy took out the personal protector, and I was like, that's going to give him some space to be able to come through, be able to get a hand on that ball. And it's one thing to block it, but he also just popped way up in the air. It was about 30 yards up in the air and backwards. So ends up being a great play. And Colonel Crawford's got about 6 guys letting it recover and only 1 guy back for the Bulldogs. So they were able to jump on top of it. They could have probably actually picked it up and ran it in if they just set up a cavalcade of people, but better to just get the football, and Colonel Crawford with the opportunity to get some points on the board here.
Still trying to figure out who blocked the punt, but the Eagles have it 1st and goal from the 4. Personnel, they run a guy in late. He will take his position slot right. Lohr going to try and run it.
He's got it.
Left side. Lohr into the end zone. Touchdown, Crawford. Cam Lohr wastes no time, found the seam, and pushed it in from 4 yards out for the first score of the night.
Was not going to be denied. Ran very hard. Great blocking to give him the space to get through. Got him right there, and sure enough, first big play of the game goes for Colonel Crawford, and they make it pay.
Eagles take an early 6-0 lead, 1:26 to go in the opening quarter. On to attempt the extra point. Braxton Morton. Snap back, hold is down, kick is up, and I think he just snuck it inside the upright. Kick is good. Extra point brought to you by FC Bank, your friendly community bank. 1:26 to go here in the first quarter. It is Crawford 7 and the Bulldogs 0. You're listening to WQEL and the OH Report.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schiefer. Schiefer finds a hole at the center. Schiefer turns on the burners. Schiefer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got 1 man to beat. Schiefer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Stallings, Jeff Roberts with you tonight. Back deep for the Bulldogs is 20, Shaw Keppard, and number 3, Trent Barraza. High kick is going to be fielded by, that is Hawker. Hawker started left, now he cuts back to the right side. Flag is down, 35, and he goes down at the 36. Multiple flags down on the field.
Yep.
So we'll check out what that is and see if the Bulldogs will make this field a little bit longer on themselves.
I think we're no different than most people. When we get in before the game, a lot of times we'll talk about offense and defense. We don't talk about the special teams as much as it deserves. It is clearly 33% of the football team or football game, and the big special teams play. And again, the recovery by we think it was by Tyler Smith. The block again still up in the air for Colonel Crawford, but it gets the points on the board. And there on the kickoff, even a decent return, but it's going to move it way back because of another special teams mistake here by Columbus Grove. So they get the block punt, and now they got to go with this drive starting at their own 15-yard line.
With 1:18 to go, they got 85 yards in front of them. Crawford, of course, with the block punt, and Cam Lohr on the first play following the turnover, 4 yards into the house. Bulldogs 1st and 10, their third possession. 2 right, 1 to the left. 2 backs in the backfield with Renner. He's going to give it to Barraza. Barraza looking for a hole up the middle. He bounces it right and picks up 2 yards. Short gain for the sophomore running back. Schaefer trying to create a hole, but not a lot.
Columbus Grove finding that running against this Colonel Crawford team not terribly easy. They were great last week. They just stopped everything trying to run the football for carry. And so far tonight, Columbus Grove struggling to move the football.
Bulldogs going to spread it out on 2nd and 7. Trips left side. Now they go to A.J. Schaefer. Schaefer breaks 1, spinning over the 20 and down at the 22-yard line goes A.J. Schaefer. Sets up a 2nd and 4, and this can really open the playbook up for the Bulldogs, but they certainly really want to get this first down.
I got to be honest with you. I think that's, Schaefer's 230 pounds. Like, he is a big back. And again, it's not like they haven't seen that before in Colonel Crawford's defense, but still, guys like that are tough to bring down. If you get 4 yards or so, it's going to kind of move this offense along. It wouldn't be surprised me that they go to that more often, the Bulldogs, that is.
He joins Renner on 3rd and short. They swing it out to Barraza. Barraza trying to make something happen in the open field, does just enough for the first down over the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Yep.
And that's another one of the ways that they're going to use him tonight. They like to get him the ball in space. They'll hand it off to him. They'll swing it out to him.
Yeah.
He's got speed and he's got moves.
Yeah, Hawker and Zach Reynolds, the 2 main guys, but they'll get it to Schaefer and Barraza coming out of the backfield. They actually have Schaefer listed as a tight end. He just moves to the backfield a lot.
It was 22 Micah Thomas who blocked that pump for Colonel Crawford. So a huge play for the wingback to set him up for the touchdown. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. Here at Donnell Stadium, it's the Colonel Crawford Eagles 7 and the Columbus Grove Bulldogs 0. We'll be right back on WQEL and the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Takes the handoff from Renner, goes left side for a short gain, give him about 1.5 yards. And now the Bulldogs will be headed south as we flop sides.
The big guy trying to go up the middle, but sometimes that's a little tough against this Eagle defense, and they tried to bounce it around and didn't really have the speed to get to that corner.
Rodney Reich over there making the play. Bulldogs hustle to the line, 2 right, 2 left. Barraza in motion. They give to Schaefer again. Again to the left side, throws the stiff arm and goes into the Eagle bench. Another short gain by A.J. Schaefer. And the Eagle defense getting multiple hats to the football, and they're not letting any one guy bring that big back down.
No, absolutely. Like you said, they're just bringing everybody out there. I mean, Colonel Crawford defensively plays hyper-aggressive. I mean, when they see the ball, everybody goes after it. And I say a lot of times that, teams have to figure out that it's like we better get them to over-pursue a little bit and try to misdirect because it's going to be tough to move the ball otherwise.
Trips right, near side. A little simple stop to Shep Hawker is incomplete. They had Barraza in the flats. He might have been the better option there as the linebacker was a little slow to get out there. But on 3rd and 7, it's incomplete. And once again, Brenton Renner will punt.
Well, Hawker, found a little spot there, but they list him at 5'9". It seems like that might be a little bit of a gift. And the quarterback had to kind of get it over a linebacker's head and get it to him, and he just couldn't put the right touch on it. Ended up overshooting the pass.
Vogt back at his 37. Renner able to get that punt away, but it is short.
Not a good one.
Bounces at the 50, takes a little bit of a Bulldog roll, and is down at the 43-yard line. Maybe a little gun-shy after getting his last one blocked.
Well, and unfortunately, he didn't get a great punt off as a result. So, Colonel Crawford winning this special teams battle right now, and it's put them in not bad field position to start another drive here offensively.
Short field for the Eagles as they have it at their own 43-yard line. 11:04 to go before the half. Of course, stay tuned at the break. Coming up, it's the Ken Standing Seam Halftime Show brought to you by Ken and Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam. We'll have halftime stats, analysis, and, of course, the ONN. Crawford ball, 1st and 10. Lohr has Kleiner back there with him, and he's going to give it on 1st down. Kleiner, jump cut in the backfield, trying to get off the defender. Can't do it. He's dropped for a 1-yard loss. Great penetration there by the Bulldogs on 1st down. Everybody in the backfield.
And, Columbus Grove doing exactly the same thing. I was just talking that Colonel Crawford's defense did. It was red jerseys flowing to the football all over the place. Actually, when the play was over, there was 9 guys near to the football and only 2 guys pulled back, one on a receiver and one safety, just kind of playing a safety valve a little bit back further. But everybody else going to the football hard.
Eagles come out to right. Kleiner once again with Lohr. Double tights. Lohr, straight quarterback keeper, cuts it up the middle, gets over the 45, down at the 46-yard line. Play design maybe wanted him to bounce it a little more outside, but Lohr saw the hole straight up the gut and took what the defense gave him for a gain of 4.
I'll say this, if you look at it and what the Bulldogs have changed up already, we said early in the game we were seeing a 4-3. They've moved to really a 4-4 now, and they're just going 3 defensive backs, and they're pretty much telling Colonel Crawford, we are going to try to take away your running game as much as possible and put the ball in the hands of Cam Lohr throwing.
Ball 3rd down at the 46-yard line. Lohr alone in the backfield. Kleiner to wing right. Lohr wants to throw, has pressure, gets drilled as he got it away, but it's going to be right at the sticks. He got it complete. That is to the tight end.
I was going to say
Caden
Bruner. Yeah.
Number 8, the sophomore, making the catch right at the stick. Lohr got drilled as he let go of it.
Had to get rid of it fast. That blitz was coming right in his face. The right defensive end was completely unblocked on the play, so he got a free shot at Lohr. Luckily, a good heads-up play by Lohr and good recognition that the pressure was coming. Didn't try to run away from it. He just said, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and get it to Bruner as quickly as possible. And they ended up getting the 1st down, got the 7 yards they needed.
Gabe Thu motions 1st down. The official agrees, and they move the chains. Ball 1st and 10 now at the 47 of the Bulldogs. Lohr pretty efficient here throughout the 1st and midway through the 2nd quarter. But a lot of runs so far by the Eagles, and why not? They've had success. Vogt goes in motion. They're going to toss it to him. Vogt looking for some space, stretching it out, and he is going to be wrapped up for a loss of 1 on that play. Just a simple toss, end around, trying to stretch out the defense, and Vogt, that zone blocking, never had an opening.
No, it didn't, but I still love the play call. I thought that a week ago that they should probably try to do a couple of plays to get it in Vogt's hands, even maybe on an end around. It didn't get anything, but again, it just throws something else out there. It's another arsenal in the tool book that Bruner has as a coach have to defend.
Tight formation for the Eagles, 1 wide receiver out wide. Now they give it to Micah Thomas. Thomas changes direction, lowers the shoulder, and plows his way to the 45-yard line. And that play was going nowhere until Thomas just lowered the shoulder and went north and south.
Again.
But we do have a flag down.
Flag down.
Stops it with 8:23. Of course, stay tuned after the game tonight. Davy Jones and another edition of the Friday Night Phone Board. Davy's looking for all the scores. You can talk last night's games, tonight's games. Buckeyes with a big win earlier against Indiana. So all things on the table tonight inside the phone board.
No penalty. It was just a little conversation there. I think maybe it was a equipment issue.
Another tight formation for the Eagles. Lohr wants to throw, steps up, has pressure, and he's going to go down, sacked back at the 49-yard line.
Yep.
Getting through and making the play, 33, Levi Schroeder.
Again, nobody said that scoring against this Bulldog defense was going to be easy, and they got pressure on the wings and with a blitzer up the middle. So Lohr, got away from the first couple of guys, but there was another follow-up right thereafter, and it's going to have to make Colonel Crawford punt the ball and see if they can pin the Bulldogs down deep again.
Actually, Kalen Mays who got the sack. So now the Eagles will punt it away. Barraza gets it at his 20, looking for some space. Barraza gets off one defender, but held up just enough, and the rest of the Eagles get down there to make the play at the 24-yard line. So Barraza, not a lot of room to work, and the Eagles doing a nice job with kick coverage.
I think one of the things they're doing really well on Barraza is they're not letting him get downfield. He's got some speed, but they're on him, and he gets one step. He just can't get up to show that speed because they're in his face at all times, whether he touches it on a punt return or on offense.
1st and 10 now for the Bulldogs. 7-0. Crawford leading in the second quarter. And it looks like Columbus Grove going to spread it out here on 1st and 10. Trips right, lone receiver left side. Barraza in the backfield with Renner. Renner, he is going to hand off to Barraza. Barraza hit at the line of scrimmage, able to fall forward for a short gain. But a great play over there. In at the bottom of the pile, 54. Jake Moss, Gabe Thu also in on the stop for the Eagles. Short gain of just 1.
This Eagle defense is pretty much doing the same thing that they did a week ago to Cary, which is they're basically taking away what the team does best. It's Barraza and Schaefer running the football. They're on them all over this ball, and they're basically going to say, all right, Renner, at some point in time you have to beat us with the arm.
Joe break right. Pass is caught in the flats. Stiff arm gets off one, and then slung down was Shep Hawker. Yeah, like you said, Jeff, great tackle made over there.
Kleinert.
32, Matt Kleinert, slinging him down.
Yeah, Hawker does a nice job getting away from another defensive back. I mean, that should be kind of a short gain, but he does a great job of. He's pretty shifty. He's small, but he gets away from guys. He kind of squirms away from defenders. But Kleinert coming over from that linebacker position, he hit him pretty hard.
Lone receiver left, that's the wide side, and Renner wants to throw. Looking downfield. Let's go of it, and the pass is dropped. Looking over there, it was it Reynolds, the intended receiver?
I think it was.
Yeah, Reynolds, there's a one-man route on a comeback.
And he was open.
Sticks and turn around, and he just let it go off his hands.
Well, he turned and he started looking at the defender. He's trying to figure out, after I catch this ball, should I turn inside or outside shoulder? And just took his eyes off the football and dropped it.
Another punt for the Bulldogs. Vogt will wait at the 42-yard line. Renner will punt it from his 15. Eagles don't really come after this one, and a low liner by Renner takes a Bulldog hop and gains a little momentum at the 35 and makes its way all the way down to the 24-yard line of the Eagles. So a nice little kick by Renner. Didn't get more than 15 yards off the ground, but it bounced a long way.
Ugly punt, but it worked out for him. Want to once again thank our sponsors of our broadcast, Isaac King and Dylan Wyatt at McKeever Associates, Engineering and Surveying, Jim and Debbie Mays at J&F Construction, Jim Spring and Tom Brown at Spring Capital Management, the Frank House family at My Floors, Bucyrus Road on the west side of Gallion, and Joe Klein and the Associates at the Gallion offices of First Federal Bank of Ohio.
A heavy dose of run by the Eagles in the first half.
Yep, only thrown 4 passes so far, but that's to be expected.
Lohr in the gun, 2 backs back there. He fakes the handoff. He wants to throw. Dumps off into the flats. He's got Kleinert. Kleinert at the 25. He is dropped there after a short pickup. Tackle made by Trent Barraza.
That little pass right there, just absolutely killed Cary a week ago in the first half. I mean, they were just doing those drop-offs to Kleinert, and they never had a defender by it. But the only downside to it is Columbus Grove is able to look at a film and say, hey, that 32, when he drops out of the backfield, make sure you got a guy on him.
Have an eye on him. Grove showing blitz. Schaefer off the edge, but now the Eagles are going to change the play. 5:30 and counting here, second quarter, 2nd and 9. Lohr rolling right, wants to throw. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Lohr with a seam. Lohr 35, 40, and he goes down at the 44-yard line. Straight quarterback keeper by Cam Lohr. And a great job picking his seam and taking off.
Yeah, that was a great job. The blocking up front's outstanding on that right side. The Columbus Grove brought their pressure on defense from the other side of the field and couldn't get it into the backfield far enough, so they were just trying to chase Lohr from behind. And, again, right side of the offensive line opens up a nice hole, and Lohr just makes them make them pay for blitzing in the wrong area.
Big block downfield by Gabe Thu. Now Micah Thomas going to join Kleinert in the backfield. 2 backs on either side of Lohr. Lohr with the snap. He goes to Kleinert. Kleinert with the lead blocker. Stiff arm at the line of scrimmage and goes down for a gain of 3. Looked like he had a little bit more room, but
Yeah.
the Bulldogs closing the gap quickly. Tackle made by 62, Kyle Lathrop.
Well, unfortunately, lead blocker coming through probably just needed the, work and seal off the edge, give him a little bit more space. But when he was coming through, the offensive lineman was still engaged, so I think he was figuring, all right, I can keep going. Well, by the time Kleiner got there, the lineman had lost his containment on the block and made it for an easy tackle for Columbus Grove.
2nd and 8, double tight, wing right. Lohr going to keep it. Cam pushing on the left side, and he falls ahead for 2. It'll be about a 3rd and 5.
Yep. Again, the little dive forward picks him up an extra yard or so.
Tackle made by 14, Landon Schroeder. Little personnel change for the Eagles. Horsley checks in, so 3 receivers come out wide to the left. Far outside is number 11, Jacob Matty. Kleiner, the wing on the right side. Lohr empty backfield, and he didn't like the look. Coach Jake Bruner is going to take a timeout. 3:41 to go in the first half. The Eagles with a 7-0 lead, and Coach Jake Bruner takes his first one of the half. We'll take a break as well. You're listening to WQEL and streaming live on the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report. And Dr. Erica Schieber at Bucyrus Veterinary Service. We thank them all for sponsoring high school playoff football in the Colonel Crawford Eagles here on Q92.7 FM WQEL.
Eagles trying to keep the season going, leading 7-0 here in the first half. A win tonight, the winner of tonight's game will play the winner of Ashland Crestview and Columbia Station. Here's Lohr on 3rd and 5. Wants to throw it. Rolling right, way back behind the line. He throws it right side. It's complete. Well short, though, of the line of scrimmage. It was Kleinert over there who caught it for about a yard gain, but that's going to force a punt at the 50-yard line.
Yeah, the pressure coming back, they never really got in Lohr's face, but they were bringing people deep enough in the backfield. They had to do a very wide rollout and he was dropping
almost 15
back.
yards behind the line of
Yes,
scrimmage
exactly.
through it.
So it's like a 20-yard pass downfield to try to get to that first down marker. Wasn't going to happen.
Kleinert will punt. Gets away a knuckler, and that's going to drift and carry all the way down inside the 10 and just makes its way into the end zone for the touchback. So the Bulldogs will have it at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, with 3:02 in the half.
It's a beautiful night. Again, a little chilly with some snow dropping for us. But, again, for
football in November.
This is where it starts coming down to it, and it gets pretty exciting. Again, we knew we were going to have this type of a game. It's the cold weather, a lot of tough defense. That's what we're seeing right now from both of these teams.
Not a lot of success throwing the football, and the Eagle rushing attack has been success. Well, really, special teams is what's got it done so far.
Absolutely.
Cam Lohr with the 4-yard scamper is the difference. Ball at the 20, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Trips right for Renner. Pistol formation, toss out to Barraza. Barraza splits the gap. Barraza at the 25 goes up and over the 27 to the 28-yard line. And that might be the biggest gain of the night for the Bulldogs.
Well, they had 1 9-yard gain, and that was it. Beyond that was their best play. And, like I said, just try to pitch it out to Barraza. And like I said, that time they got him the ability to kind of get those legs moving, show some speed in the open field.
Pistol formation, toss play Barraza, left side, jump cut, and it's Gabe Thu wrapping him up. No gain on that play.
Yeah, maybe got a half yard with the fall forward, but quite honestly, that was, we're going to do the pitch to the one side, and all right, it worked. Let's try going the other way with it, and Colonel Crawford a lot more ready for it, and Gabe Thu, obviously, he's been outstanding all year long, and you can see why on that play. Outstanding job.
Coming from his defensive end, he forced his guy outside, forced the cutback, and then makes the play from behind. third and short. Here's Schaefer this time. A.J. Schaefer lowers the shoulder, and he gets just enough for the first down. Power run by the big back.
Yeah, he's a load. I mean, Schaefer at 230 pounds, and it becomes a one-on-one opportunity. Colonel Crawford's got one defender there with an opportunity to try to get him, but he ran him down.
Yeah, ran right over Rodney Reich.
Yep.
1st and 10. Trips to the right side. Barraza in the slot. And they're going to throw it out to him. Almost picked off. Oh, man. Reading that play brilliantly was Lucas Foy.
Yep.
And Foy almost had the interception on the deflection.
Foy was just kind of floating in on it. He's like, all right, I see where the guy is. And he was already coming in on it. Actually, I got to be honest with you, I think they caught a break. I think if he throws a good pass, Foy is going to step in front of it. And if he catches it, it's a foot race to the end zone. Him overthrowing put Foy, instead of trying to go after the ball, just said, all right, I'm going to let it go.
To either side for Renner on 2nd and 10. He tucks it. He's looking for an opening, and he goes down, scamper for 2 yards. That was just a straight quarterback keeper for Renner and not a lot of space to do anything.
Yeah, and they're trying to speed it up with only 1:30 left, but if Crawford can get the stop, they might get the ball back here.
Eagles with a personnel change.
And Bruner's going to take it.
Yep. Second timeout taken by Crawford. They didn't have the right personnel on the field. So one timeout left for the Eagles with 1:29 in the first half. They lead it 7-0. We'll take a break as well. You're listening to WQEL and watching online on the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Bulldogs looking at 3rd and 7. Eagles with just 3 down linemen. Motion right to left. Renner wants to throw. One receiver route. He's got Hawker, and pass is complete over there to Shep Hawker at the 41-yard line. He's just over the sticks. I think he's got enough.
He did. I'll tell you what, that's really good recognition right there from Hawker of where the first down marker was. That's where he curled that route in, and a good play by Renner on the rollout. He got the ball out of his hands and right to his top receiver.
Foy was in tight coverage, but a nice play by Renner. Here he's going to give off Schaefer. Schaefer again lowers the shoulder, and he's got a gain of 8.
Yeah, he
Big
runs
fella,
hard.
Just carrying defenders up to the 48-yard line.
Tough to bring
Clock's
down.
Still moving, though. Minute
but
10.
That's what's working in Crawford's favor.
Bulldogs will have it to start the 3rd.
They still have all 3 timeouts here.
Renner all day to throw. Crossing route at the 40. It's complete to Barraza. Another first down for the Bulldogs, and they have it in Eagle territory. All 3 timeouts for Columbus Grove.
Yep, they got plenty of time to get the ball down the field and get some points on the board here.
2 to the right, 2 to the left. Renner wants to throw on a 3-man rush.
A lot of
he's
time.
got to get rid of it to Schaefer, and it's off the fingertips and incomplete.
Yep.
And that's what you'd really call a coverage sack.
Yes.
Great job downfield by the Eagle defense on the 3-man rush.
Actually, no pressure on Renner at all. The offensive line's doing a really nice job on this drive for Columbus Grove. All 4 defensive linemen for Colonel Crawford never even got off that line of scrimmage. I mean, they were just totally stymied. So they depended on the linebackers and defensive backs. Nice job by the Crawford defense.
7 the ball carrier. That's Schaefer, and he lowers it to the 40 or 35-yard line. And I'm going to take a timeout.
I would expect them to do so, but no, they're just going to run them back. And they're going to keep their 3. Here we go.
Renner wants to throw it again. He's going to come near side pass complete to Shep Hawker. Hawker pushing his way to the 25. He's going to go down at the 26, and that's going to move the chains again. And a timeout for the Bulldogs.
Tell you what, they're running this 2-minute offense really well. I mean, again, I thought they'd call the timeout right there.
Patriots 2-minute offense.
Yeah, but they were like, nah, we'll keep it going, and they knew exactly where to throw that football. I mean, Hawker, great job once again. You can see he's just really he's got a good football IQ. He knows where that first down marker is. He gets past it consistently, and he knows how to find the space and get himself open, and he's always expecting his quarterback to find him. So, when he turns back, the moment he gets that first down marker, he starts looking at his quarterback like, I'm here, you can get me the ball now.
Maybe the Eagles think about bringing some pressures. Renner's had all day to throw on this drive and has had success. They'll bring trips to the left side. Lone receiver right is Shep Hawker. Barraza slot on the left, and A.J. Schaefer the back. Eagles in their nickel package. 5 defensive backs on 1st and 10. Renner in the gun. Schaefer right hip. He's going to throw it. Again, all day to let it fly. Gets rid of it, and off the hands of Hawker, incomplete. Yep. Threw it behind him. Hawker across or underneath, and, yeah, like you said, Jeff, just missed the mark.
Because then it's going to be, if he catches it, it's going to be, I think it was Maddie over there, the nearest defender, and Hawker's going to try to beat him to the corner. And if he does, it's going to pick up some big yards there. Now, if the tackle gets made, it's still going to probably go for a first down, but that misfire by Renner becomes potentially big here.
Going out wide to the left, Zach Reynolds in the trips. Hawker low to the right side on 2nd and 10. Snap back. Renner wants to throw. He's got to get rid of it. Pressure got it to him. And is that an incompletion, or are they going to rule it a fumble? I think an incomplete pass.
Yeah, they're going to say incomplete pass.
The 3-man rush eventually getting to Renner on that play. And a huge play to stop the clock with 17 seconds, 3rd and 10.
Yep.
I think it was Gabe Thu on the back side. It was. He put his helmet right into the back of Renner.
Yep, he tried to step up in that pocket. And right as he stepped up, again, it's the backside. He doesn't see him coming.
Parker Ketterman, not Gabe Thu.
Yep, and Ketterman got him there. Shot right in the back, knocked it loose.
3rd and 10, Renner going to throw it out in a bubble. He's got Barraza. Barraza looking for a block. Gets tripped up and goes down. 2-yard pickup that keeps the clock going. And they stop it with 10 seconds left.
Well, and this is part of it. I was like, I didn't know what they've got in terms of a field goal kicker.
Right.
Can he make it from a distance like this? This is not an easy kick, about a 42-yarder. So, that's, if you feel confident in your field goal kicker, you take it down to just a couple seconds left and you end the half with a long field goal. But if you don't, you got to go for it here on 4th down. And then you want a little bit more time to try to hopefully get a completion if you're Columbus Grove, and then you try to call the timeout and kick another field goal later or try to get a score. But again, so it's kind of telling that they would call the timeout with 10 seconds left.
Evan Veerhoff, number 80, 5'4", 101-pound freshman, is listed as the kicker, but I don't see him in the huddle.
Yeah, I'm not expecting.
I think they're going to have Renner in the offense out on the field, take a shot at the end zone from the 25. Looks like doubles formation. Nope, empty backfield. Trips to the right. Schaefer and Hawker go wide to the left. 4th and 7. They need the end zone. There's 10 seconds. Renner wants to throw. Now he's flushed to the right side. Pressure coming. Renner is going to be sacked back at the 38-yard line. I think it was Parker Ketterman again. It was. Ketterman saw him shake it and scramble to the right side, and he just shot in and sacked Renner in the backfield. That's the end of the first half. The Eagles take a 7-0 lead to the break. What a half by Colonel Crawford. The bend don't break defense, and they take their lead into halftime. Here from Donnell Stadium, it's the Eagles 7, the Bulldogs 0. Coming up, it's the Ken Stallings Team halftime show right here on WQEL.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend, we heal, we repair, we sow, we plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schroeder. Schroeder finds a hole at the center. Schroeder turns on the burners. Schroeder could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schroeder with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
welcome to the field your Columbus Grove Marching Band. The 33-member band in front of you has completed a fantastic 2022 competitive season, bringing home 2 first-place trophies in Class C, as well as earning awards in percussion, color guard, music, visuals, and best general effects in Class C at various OMEA festivals. They also qualified to perform at state marching band finals and received a rating of excellent. Tonight, though, we entertain with some stadium favorites. Go Bulldogs!
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schroeder. Schroeder finds a hole at the center. Schroeder turns on the burners. Schroeder could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schroeder with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
HSAA state playoffs in Division 6. Colonel Crawford with the halftime lead 7-0.
defensive struggle, obviously. We've talked a lot about that, and I think it's going to be really intriguing to see what both these coaches decided to talk about at that halftime point, because there's things you got to be pretty happy about, because even if you're Coach Indy Schaefer, Columbus Grove's head coach, you got to say, like, all right, they scored on us because they got the ball at the 4-yard line after a blocked punt. I mean, other than that, my defense has been on point. But again, at this point in time, the teams get really good. And when you're one-dimensional, as both these teams offensively has really kind of been in this game, or, that's kind of what they're known to be, a little bit more running than passing, it's really hard to move the football. And you're going to see if one of these teams can kind of go into their bag of tricks, for lack of a better term for it, and open things up a little bit, maybe get something open on a passing play, or get a little tricky in the running game to be able to get guys open. But the final stats, from the first half, it just show two teams that did not move the football effectively at all.
Conditions cold and damp here at Donnell Stadium, and certainly that is a major factor when it comes to running your offense, even if you are a consistent rushing attack.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and again,
we saw Cam Lohr fumble it on the 4th and a foot,
yes,
and resulting in a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and a couple of other just like little details that just want to point out here in terms of a game like this. At this point in time, Colonel Crawford is averaging 41 yards a punt. I mean, if Kleinert keeps that up, that's going to kind of put Columbus Grove in tough field position. On the flip side, Columbus Grove is just averaging 32 yards per punt. Also, the other thing Eagles fans got to be happy about, in the first half, they did not have one penalty. Columbus Grove did have a couple.
Clean game.
So they're playing pretty well at this point in time. Both teams 5 possessions, but not a whole heck of a lot of offense. So going to be interesting to see what happens. We're going to see Columbus Grove with the football first. So if there's adjustments that were made, we're going to find out about it pretty quickly.
Getting set for the third quarter here from Findlay. It is Shep Hawker and Trent Barraza back deep. They stand about the 17-yard line. Braxton Morton will kick off for the Eagles. Morton kicks off from the left hash. Bulldogs will go left to right on your radio dial. Morton approaches and sends a nice end-over-end kick down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be Hawker. Hawker cutting back across field, has a little opening, gets sacked at the 24-yard line. A big pop delivered, and he is dropped at the 24.
Yeah, nice job right there. Stepping up, making that tackle. I think that was
43. That is Xander Fauser.
Yep, he made him feel it, that's for sure.
Good lick delivered there, and it sets them up 1st and 10. They'll have it at the 25-yard line.
I don't know if Columbus Grove's going to do anything differently in terms of play calling, but it wouldn't surprise me to see them speed things up. Don't let Colonel Crawford get things set up defensively. That seemed to be successful for him in the 2-minute drive.
Barraza, left side of Renner, gets the handoff on 1st down, and a nice carry, a scamper close to the marker, gain of about 9.
Best run of the game for Barraza. I mean, again, just do the counter play. They brought Hawker around like, it was potentially going to bring him on the handoff, and that was enough to hold down a couple of Colonel Crawford defenders. And on the counter, coming back the other direction, Barraza got close to the first down.
Pistol, and he wanted, I think, to give it to, Barraza, but Barraza had already vacated. Renner just had to keep it, tried the left side, nothing there, loss of 1.
Yeah, that's, again, good job by Jacob Moss coming from the backside to make the tackle on a Renner on a broken play. So I think that if you're Columbus Grove, you got to be pretty happy with the fact that you didn't lose any real yardage on that play. The fact that he got back to the line of scrimmage is a win.
3rd and a long one. Renner in the pistol. Has the snap. He's going to give it Barraza. Barraza gets hit at the line and able to fall forward for the 1st down, gain of 2. Just got enough as he went over Moss for the 1st down.
Yeah, that's a good job right there by Barraza. Because, sometimes, we always talk it's a game of inches, and sometimes you just have to assert yourself to get the inches. And there, Colonel Crawford had defense there to be able to stop him potentially short, but it was going to require them to stand him up, and they couldn't do it.
Tight wing to the right. Barraza in the backfield with Renner. He is going to get the call again. Barraza this time bottled up and dropped.
Oh, not at all. They were
Parker
really
Ketterman says not on that one. Ketterman came flying up the middle and dropped him for a loss.
Yep. After their got that 1st down, and they went right back to Barraza and nada on that play. They were right on top of him. Good job by the defensive line for Colonel Crawford.
Ketterman and Moss drop him for a 2-yard loss on that play. 2nd and 12. They go trips left with a wing. Lone receiver right side. Schaefer the back. He is going to fake the handoff. Wants to throw. Renner downfield one-on-one. He's got a man incomplete. Let him just a touch too much. Looking down there for Zach Reynolds on the deep ball. And he had a step and the one-on-one matchup, but couldn't connect, incomplete. It was Foy in coverage.
Yeah, he kind of just dropped it in the middle of the field, even though his receiver was running a little bit closer to the sideline. It required Reynolds to just kind of try to curl the route to the middle, see if he can make the dive and grab. If he puts it a little bit closer onto the spot, I think possibility that they can get some yards, but good defense by Colonel Crawford once again.
Now 3rd and long. Offset pistol. Here's Renner, wants to throw, has pressure, throws it back to the left side. He's got Schaefer in the flats. Schaefer drug down from behind. He's going to be close to a first down. Crawford not totally confused by the screen pass, but still a good chunk of yards there by Schaefer. He'll be close, and
probably
I think they mark him just shy.
I'll tell you what, Ketterman reads the play, but a great job by Renner on the pass. He dropped it right over his head into the hands of Schaefer, and Schaefer was able to kind of he ends up catching him from behind, but Schaefer was able to get the first down.
They give it to him. Now they go trips right. Schaefer the slot. Barraza's going to get the toss. Right side, Barraza trying to look for some space. Gets hit at the 45 and goes down at the 47-yard line. Short gain. Foy out there. And Barraza once again trying to use his speed to stretch it out laterally instead of getting north and south, and just a short gain on that play.
Yeah, but again, so well read, right now by Colonel Crawford. They just got bodies in his face, so even when he catches that football, he can't make the break up field. He's got to beat the guy in front of him before he can make a bigger play.
The give is to Barraza. Gets off one defender, and Barraza able to carry the ball for about 6. It'll be 3rd and 2 as they get it into Eagle territory.
Say what you will, but I think there's no question that Columbus Grove is running harder here in this half. I mean, Barraza's not going down quite as easily as he did in the first half. And he's trying to pick up every yard that he can possibly get, realizing that every yard's going to matter in a game like this.
Key missed tackle sets him up at 3rd and 2. And now they'll change the play. Renner yells it out. He's in the pistol. Schaefer, the slot. He is going to give it to Barraza, and Barraza is going to get dropped for a loss.
Not that time.
Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage on that play. Just a straight ISO up the gut, and Crawford all over it.
Tristan Baker, one of the guys in there. I mean, there are just guys all over that ball. Did a great job in multiple positions. Isaiah Studer was in the backfield. And again, Studer not in on the tackle, but he just pushed his guy out of the play as well. So there were so many guys in the backfield that there was just no opportunity for a hole there. End up losing a yard or so.
4-man front for the Eagles on 4th and short. Power package, fake the handoff. Renner keeps it, has pressure, wants to throw it out to Barraza. He was open, but he floated it a little too far. Barraza trying to leak out backside, and Kleinert was in the area, but if Renner gives him a good pass, that's a first down, and the drive is extended.
Yeah, but I mean,
defense holds.
It's a tough pass to make. He's coming back the other direction, and with guys in his face, he's got to put it right on the spot. Like you said, Barraza got free and was able to get in the open field, but he's kind of blinded on the pass. He's trying to go from one hash mark all the way to the other side, and he's doing it through all the linemen and defensive backs. So you just try to kind of loft it and drop it, and not able to put it on the spot.
The incompletion gives it back to the Eagles in great field position at their own 46. Lohr in the gun, Kleinert with him. Lohr wants to throw, going to go deep, one-on-one, a little short, and it might have been picked off. No, incomplete. In coverage was 13 Antonio Gray, and he about took it away from the Eagles.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. That is just, okay, we got man-to-man coverage. We're going to throw it deep down the field. Safety was coming over to help, but he was late on the play, Zach Reynolds. So it really is the cornerback and the wide receiver just playing a man game down there. And Lohr, his receiver is not really open. I mean, it was great coverage.
He's got to get more under it.
And so he's got to put it a little bit more in the air, just didn't do it. Cornerback with the opportunity for the pick, but not able to bring it down, so Crawford catches a break.
2nd and 10, they go to Kleinert, the big back. Trying the left side, and he's able to get 2. Gang tackled over there. Schaefer as well as 52 Kalen Mays on the stop.
Yep, Columbus Grove, again, Just continues to play this very tight defensive football game. I mean, they're making Colonel Crawford work for every yard, and another 3rd and long for the Eagles here.
3rd and 9 from their 47. 7:25 and counting here, 3rd quarter. 2 to the right, tight end left side, Kleinert in the backfield with Lohr. Lohr has the snap. He's got a pulling guard in front of him. Lohr on the keeper, gets over the 40, and then he's stuck at the 48-yard line. Got a decent hit there as Lohr with a nice seam.
That's a big tackle. I mean, that's a really nice play by that middle linebacker, Tad Koch, because I'll be honest with you, he's the only one left. And quite honestly, Micah Thomas trying to kind of get a block on him, but he's able to get off of him and not only get off the block, but make a nice tackle. Good play.
Eagles will try and bury him deep. Kleinert going to pump from his 39. Get some air under it.
Good kick.
Barraza back deep. We're going to field it at the 17 with some room. Barraza up over the 30, 35, and goes down at the 36-yard line. So Kleinert trying to get it down there, but Barraza, the shifty return man, pretty good return, gets it up over the 35-yard line.
Lucas Foy making that tackle, almost able to strip it out of his hands. I mean, it's really the way you textbook tackle. You put one hand on the football and the other one wrapped tightly around the body, and if you do it well, sometimes you can rip that ball out, and it slipped loose from Barraza, but he was able to keep control of it.
Foy.
No, I don't know if he did.
I think Foy was keeping contained, and Barraza, with his eyes in the middle of the field, Foy almost knocked it loose, but Bulldogs have it 1st and 10 at their 36. 37, actually. Here's Renner on the quarterback keeper. Looking for space. Throws the stiff arm. Gets over the 40 and then pushed hard out of bounds. No flag on the play.
Little ball boy just got knocked over to the bench as well on that play. Got to watch out for that.
Go to the replay. A big hit over there as Renner got up over the 40-yard line and shoved out of bounds hard by Horsley. Gain of 3, maybe 4. Call it 4. Brings up 2nd and 6. Renner in the gun. Schaefer on his right hip. And he's got Schaefer lead blocking for him. Renner looking for space again, and another short pickup. And another little pushing and shoving going on over there. Ketterman and Schaefer.
Following the blocks pretty well. I mean, defensive players on that one, I think it was Kleinert. He couldn't decide, like he had a blocker out in front of him, 2 guys engaged, and he was like, I can't decide, should I cut inside or outside? Because if I go one way and he takes the other, it's, he was just kind of stringing it out, trying to figure out which way he was going to go. Runner got some yards because of it.
Gain of 2, 3rd and 4. Here's trips left. They'll toss it to the big man. Schaefer had a steam, lowers, and he got right to the marker and fell over top of it.
I think he
First
got
down, Columbus Grove.
Yeah, where they're marking it,
and
he's going to get it.
I think Schaefer might be cramping. He started to get up and then just slipped right over to his backside. So he is down right at the 50-yard line. I'm not sure what happened because Schaefer, like I said, was getting up clean, nothing too crazy on the hit, and then just rolled over on his back.
I get what I'm saying. It was one of those. The hit is a low hit, big body guy, and hit him right in the thigh. You just pop him right in the leg, and that's why I was wondering if it was like kind of Charlie Horsey type shot.
Something in that right leg, lower part of that right leg.
It's a very good possibility.
Injury timeout here at Donnell Stadium, and the snow continuing to fall. You're listening to WQEL and streaming online on the OH Report. It's Colonel Crawford 7 and the Bulldogs 0. We'll be right back.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Bulldogs looking at 1st and 10. It looked like Schaefer able to get off under his own power, so hopefully he's able to return. They go back to the toss. This time it's Barraza. Barraza evades the defender at the 50, 45, and close to the 40 of Colonel Crawford, in a great run there by Barraza.
Yeah, that was an outstanding job. Vogt coming up from his safety position just took a kind of a wrong angle to him. Barraza looked like he was going to cut it in, so Vogt bid on it, and when he cut it back out, he took it around the edge.
Great open field move by Barraza.
Exactly. Got about 12 on that one.
Another first down. It's 7-0 Crawford, but the Bulldogs driving. Renner again trying to keep it. Moving right. Renner at the 40 and goes out of bounds, maybe a yard.
Yeah, not much there. Going to the short
Renner
side of the
doesn't
field.
look too comfortable carrying it.
No, obviously, he's picked up some yards on the season, but again, it's usually Barraza as the top runner and then Schaefer, as the secondary guy. So it's not like some of the teams that we see throughout the year where the quarterback carries the football an awful lot. That's not really their game.
2nd and 10, 6:05 in the third. Wing left, 2 to the right for Renner. Barraza in the backfield with him. It's going to be Renner on the keeper, trying to get outside. He's got pressure backside. He is wrapped up in the backfield. Loss on the play. Getting in there was number 4. That's Tristan Baker.
Yeah.
Baker as well as 63, Tim Faulkner.
Yeah, it ended up, puts them in 3rd down and about 12. Again, pressure coming from the backside, but no hole up front. They did such a good job of holding that offensive line up that, Renner was like, I think he even felt the pressure coming, but he was like, I don't have no place else to go with this football. It's not like I can dive forward. There was no holes. Great job across the entire line by Crawford.
Here's a big 3rd and 12. Clock moving at 5:23 and counting here in the third. Schaefer started on the left. Now he's going to come to the right side of the formation. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and I think Coach Bruner is going to take a timeout.
Delay a game.
Delay.
Oh, yeah, they got to delay a game there.
Yeah.
So.
That's huge.
Big time, 5 yards there on 3rd and 12. So now
Crawford they're going to sub some guys out and bring in kind of a more, pass-happy package, some smaller guys who are going to be back on deep coverage here.
So it's going to be 3rd and 17 now. Ball 47-yard line of Crawford. Doubles with Schaefer in the backfield. Renner wants to throw. Now he's going to step up. Quarterback draw. Renner's got some space. He's got the 35, and he's going to go down about 3 yards shy of the first down, Jeff. Yeah. A great play call there on 3rd and a mile. And we'll see if the Bulldogs go for it here. They got it inside about the 34.5-yard line, and they need about 4.5 yards.
That was the key to it, is they can go for it now, and they are. They're lining up to go for it.
Offset pistol. Renner's got Barraza behind him, Schaefer to his left. He wants to throw it. Schaefer trying to leak out of the backfield. He's trying to get it to him. Flips it out. Incomplete.
Yep.
Schaefer, instead of continuing his route to the sideline, started to drift downfield, and when he did that, Renner lofted it just too far out of the reach and incomplete. Yep. They come up empty on 4th down, and they give it back to the Eagles. What a stand by Crawford.
Unfortunately, for Columbus Grove, I'll tell you what, Renner, he's feeling that pressure, and when he's got pressure coming at him like that, he's not a real confident thrower, and he knew that guy was coming, and he was just like, I got to get rid of the ball now, and just did not put it on the mark. I mean, look at, as we're looking at the replay right now, I mean, if he holds on that ball for a half second longer, he's getting sacked, so he's got to get rid of the football and just overthrew his intended target.
Great job by the defensive Crawford. Now they give it back to Cam Lohr, and Lohr on the first play of this drive gets wrapped up, maybe got a yard.
Yeah.
They're a foot.
Yeah, I was going to say, barely got anything at all. I'll tell you what, one thing to watch out for here, I'm a little nervous about. I'm seeing it on both sides. The officials are letting them play a little bit, and the hits are coming in. There's a lot coming in. Like, it's not really late, but it's the type of thing that, a whistle happy judge, could, think about things a little bit differently. And, you don't want in a close game like that to be something that's a deciding factor. So, be interesting.
The officials have stopped play here.
Yeah, a guy came over to the side for Columbus Grove. He limped off on his own, but still, just try to get him clear off the field.
Now they'll wind it. 4:05 and counting here. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10. Lohr in the gun. Kleiner to his left. Motion man is Vogt. They are going to stretch it out to Vogt. Vogt hurdles the defender at the 35-yard line. Woo! Little David Njoku. Christian McCaffrey as Vogt picks up 5. Give him 6 on that play. Hurdle at the 35-yard line. Gets to the 40.
The two defenders had their arms out like it was a hurdle because they were facing each other, and he just ran right over the top of them.
Trent Barraza still doesn't know where Vogt went. 3rd and 4.
He's like, that's just unfair,
Vogt hitting the triangle button there. He sets him up. 3:20 to go, 3rd quarter, and a big 3rd and 4. Kleiner shuffles over to the left hip of Lohr. They'll show blitz on the right side. Lohr has pressure. A whistle before the play.
Whistle. Timeout called.
Timeout as the snow falling a little harder now in the third quarter. Jake Bruner takes a timeout. 7-0, the Eagles on top here in Week 13. We'll be right back.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Insurance Group, Bucyrus and Gallion, thank you so much for sponsoring Colonel Crawford playoff football.
And it certainly is playoff football in November. The snow coming down heavy now at Donnell Stadium. Crawford looking at 3rd and 4, 2 to the right, 2 tight end set. Lohr in the gun at the 35, has the snap, wants to throw it, has time, into the flats, pass complete. He's got Horsley over there. Horsley with a simple stop route, completes the first down, and they move him.
That was Vogt.
Oh, Vogt.
Yep, got Vogt with it.
Usually lined up as the outside receiver. Flip-flopping, he gets the first down.
Yeah, did a great job. His first catch of the game, 7-yard pickup, just dropped him into a nice, safe spot right there. A lot of range and distance from the nearest defender, and Lohr hit him.
Lohr with a rocket over to Vogt, and now they go to Kleinert. Kleinert gets his bell rung right at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. They give him forward progress to the original line of scrimmage, but he was slapped right at the line.
He ran into that Tad Koch at 6'3", 240, and Koch wasn't able to bring him down, but it stopped all of his momentum, that's for sure.
He pushed his blocker and Matt Kleinert back. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clock still moving here in the third quarter. It's been a fast-paced game, 2:20 and counting. Eagles 7, Bulldogs 0. Tight formation. Here's Kleinert on the counter. Kleinert looking for a block. Hand on his lead blocker's back, and Kleinert just barely got the 50, and it'll be 2nd and a long 7.
And again, Kleinert, such a good, powerful runner there, but may have been an opportunity for him to cut it right there as we're watching on the replay. If he
wants
back
Parker
inside,
Ketterman to get up that hole a little faster.
Exactly. If he cuts it in, though, I think he gets a little more yards. He's just trying to hope that his lead blocker can just clear the path and get everybody out of the way.
Wing in a tight left side. Lohr wants to throw. Has some time. Cam now steps up, gets hit as he throws. It's going to be
knocked out.
Almost intercepted.
It's a good play.
Looking over there for Vogt, and it was number 20. That's Shep Hawker coming in to swat it away. And what looked like could be a promising drive for Crawford. They turn it over, and they'll have to punt it. 4th and 8.
Shep Hawker, perfect name for a defensive back.
I'm a little jealous.
I'll tell you right now, knocked that one down. He did a great job in the open field. He was really reading Lohr, and as the pressure was starting to get to him, he tried to, thin the needle to a tight zone there, and Shep knocks it down.
Kleinert will punt it to Barraza. Barraza hauls it in at the 13. Starts up the middle, now bounces, has the 25, 30. Barraza looking for the 35, and off another tackle, goes out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Once again, the shiftiness of Trent Barraza gives the Bulldogs pretty good starting field position here in the third. 1:27 to go, trailing by 7.
Barraza doesn't do hard cuts. He just moves just enough that it forces defenders to kind of try to arm tackle him, and he doesn't go down to an arm tackle. 2 opportunities there for Colonel Crawford to get him, and both of them missed it. And again, it wasn't like he did a hard cut. He just shifted just slightly to get out of the defender's way.
1st and 10 at the 40, and now, they'll wave it on. Renner in the gun, trips to the left. He wants to throw, goes far side, pass complete in the flats, up the sideline, and he's got the first down and more. That's Hawker. Hawker hauls that high pass in. They give him 5.8. I'd be surprised at that.
Yeah.
But a great pitch and catch there to Hawker and a first down.
Yeah, that's a big play right there. And again, it's you could just see Hawker. Not only is he just shifty, but he's just hard to bring down too.
That was Zach Reynolds.
It was Reynolds. Excuse me.
Hawker threw a great block on the outside.
These guys run hard though. I mean, they are not easy to bring down. That's for sure.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Pistol on 1st and 10 at the 35. Renner has it, and they're going to give it on a reverse, coming back to the right side, trying to stretch it out. Not a lot of space, and he's going to be dropped. No gain on that play, maybe even a loss as they went to Reynolds on the reverse. Crawford not fooled as Vogt and Kleiner team up on the stop.
Yep. And again, you know, with Reynolds, you can see sometimes guys who are not used to getting the ball out of the backfield, they get end arounds like that, and they think, okay, I'm expecting to see a lot of open space, and when they don't get it, they're like, now what do I do? Because he just kind of stopped running, just like, all right, I don't know what to do, so I'll just stay right here.
Works a little bit better against scout teams.
Yeah, it sure does. Uh-oh.
Renner going to go deep. Nobody's out there.
Oh,
Let's
no.
throw it into the end zone, a touchdown.
They broke down defensively, and Reynolds got loose.
Reynolds out wide left. I don't think Colonel Crawford ever took anybody out there.
They did,
He snuck out there and just streaked down the field. Reynolds hit him in for the score, and just like that, we're an extra point away.
I'll tell you what, cornerback on there steps up, seeing the guy in the backfield, thinking he's going to get backside help, but the safety just kind of stayed in the middle of the field, and, Vogt too late to come over. And a good recognition right there by Renner, the quarterback, to find his wide receiver wide open.
Shep Hawker in for 6, and now on to attempt the extra point. I'm not sure if that is the freshman. Snap back, extra point is up, and it is good. Extra point brought to you by FC Bank, your friendly community bank. With 36 seconds to go in the third quarter, we are tied at 7. You're listening to WQEL and streaming live on the OH Report.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more. Every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Podcast page on WQEL.com. Check out past segments of the Coaches Show, the phone board, and re-listen to any game broadcast on WQEL or WBCO. Tie ball game 7-7 after Colonel Crawford has led since the first quarter. The Bulldogs get in the end zone, and with 36 seconds in the third, the Eagles will get it back. Hawker going to tee it up and send it deep. That is Vogt. Vogt from the 7. Starting a little slow, cutting up the center of the field. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped to the 17-yard line. Get going and get upfield.
Yeah.
Can't be patient on the kick return.
Yeah, he was being very patient, just expecting, probably what he saw a lot during the year, which is my guys in front of me will give me a hole, and he was kind of just jogging it, and Columbus Grove coming down. They got a lot of momentum, and they're playing very aggressively right now. And Colonel Crawford in a tough spot here because some of their worst field position of the game now as a result.
Winner of this moves on to play the winner of Ashland Crestview and Columbia Station. Dave, you'll have those results inside the phone board. Here's the Eagles on 1st and 10. Lohr with a full house backfield. Two receivers right side. They go to Kleiner. Kleiner with a little opening over the 20 into the 21-yard line. Kleiner goes down. Tackle made on that play. It was 14, Landon Schroeder on the stop.
Yep. Trying to bring, again, that Tad Koch to, he showed the blitz. They had to peel it back after, he got the count wrong, but he knew it was coming, or Colonel Crawford knew it was coming.
Eagles decide to run a play. 4 seconds to go, third quarter. Lohr going to air it out into the flats. He's got his man complete over there to
McMichael.
19.
Yep.
That is Ryan McMichael. His first touch of the ball game. The tight end snuck out and able to pick up the first down, and that's going to close out the third quarter here at Donnell Memorial Stadium in Findlay. It's a dogfight here in Week 13. Colonel Crawford 7 and the Columbus Grove Bulldogs 7.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schroeder. Schroeder finds a hole at the center. Schroeder turns on the burners. Schroeder could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schroeder with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Eagle ball and a full house formation. Wing right, they give it to the back, and that is, I believe,
Tanner Dyer.
Was it Dyer on his first carry?
So, first carry for Tanner Dyer.
Thought it might have been Micah Thomas lining up back there, but Dyer's first touch. Gain of, he gave him a little more than I thought.
Yeah, got the little dive at the end.
Strong 3 yards on that play. Will make it 2nd and 7.
Yeah, after the first down to McMichael, that gives them a little space, kind of, not sitting, too close to your own end zone now.
Wing and a fullback in the backfield, double wing, and now motioning right to left is Dyer. They're going to toss it to Dyer left side. Dyer cuts up, and he gets to the 40, just over the 40-yard line, close to the 41. Hawker over there on the stop, and back-to-back carries for Tanner Dyer.
Yep, got probably another 3 there. But a totally different offensive formation being shown by Colonel Crawford now. Again.
Trying to grind it out.
It looked like the old wing T, So guys tight end wing.
Offset fullback, 2 wings. 3rd and 4. They'll bunch them up, trips on the left side. Now they'll shift around. Tight end and a wing left.
Got Lohr under center
fullback. Dyer again in motion. They go to the fullback. That is Micah Thomas, and Thomas is hit and dropped. Great play made there by 50, Tad Koch.
I'll tell you what, the hole is there initially, and Thomas just can't explode through it fast enough. And as a result, like you said, Koch comes over and makes a tackle, ends up getting him about 1.5 yards to 2 yards short of the first down. Just a little bit slow moving, coming out of that backfield, allowed Columbus Grove to get the stop.
Eagles forced to punt at the 42. Kleinert lets go of it from his 34, and a great punt by Kleinert.
Wow.
Sends the returner all the way back to the 15-yard line. Barraza cuts upfield. Now he's back to the 15. Barraza is wrapped up and goes down at the 16-yard line.
That's great coverage.
Phenomenal punt by Kleinert, and the kick coverage seals the deal.
Not only, give credit not only to the guys who initially come down, but as he starts going east-west, it can be very easy to over-pursue. And, Jacob Maddie, who's the one who's right there on top of him making the tackle, he was just slowly kind of just walking with him. He could have cut up and gotten fooled. He never did.
Even
did a
Gabe
great job.
Thu down there, the big fella, forcing Barraza to change directions in a big play with the Bulldogs having the ball 1st and 10, 9:58 in the ball game. Trips right side for Renner. He's got Barraza in the backfield. They'll toss it to him. High pitch. Barraza has it. Cuts up the field at the hash and goes down just outside of it at the 22-yard line.
Yep. Got
So
about
a gain of 5.
Yep, got about 5 in this one.
High snap and a high pitch, but Barraza turns it into something positive. Again, it's Thu and McMichael on the stop. Heavier snow now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, working behind his right tackle, though, Ethan Johnson, 305 pounds. That's some weight to work around the edge of.
Renner going to spread it out to Trips. Wanting to throw. Renner on 2nd and 5 all day. Now he's going to air it out deep downfield, looking for Chef Hawker. Hawker couldn't haul it in. He had 2 guys out there. It was Hawker and Zach Reynolds. And I think Columbus Grove wants pass interference as the defensive back, and it was Reynolds who got their feet tangled.
You're going to see it going. Yeah, and the defender.
Foy with a little shove. Or no, not Foy. That's Horsley.
Yeah, Horsley gave him a little shove at the end of that play. He gave it to Reynolds, and Reynolds kind of fell down, but he fell into Horsley, who was cutting across the play. So, Colonel Crawford may have caught a little bit of a break right there. I don't think there's any question as we're seeing the replay.
Officials letting them play it out.
They sure are.
Here's 3rd and 5. Motion man. They go to Schaefer, the big fella. Schaefer, he's got the first down, just enough for it at the 27-yard line.
Needed 5.
And that's what they've done Whenever they need a first down, they go to Schaefer.
Yeah, absolutely. They need 5, and he gets 5.5. I mean, just a big, hard-running guy. He does a nice job of finding the holes, but also, he's got a nose for that first down marker. And you can see there he knew exactly where he needed to get to.
9 minutes and counting here in the ball game. Bulldogs wanting to spread it out here on 1st and 10. They'll go trips left as Hawker will line up in a slot. Barraza, the middleman. Schaefer in the backfield with Renner. Has it with 8:40 to play. Renner wants to throw. Looking for Barraza. Deep ball down the middle. No chance. He wanted Barraza to run more of a skinny post. He ran a flat post. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he was thinking that Barraza, if he cuts over the middle, maybe he can get the safety kind of leaning up. You can get over the top of him, but Barraza wasn't seeing it that way. He was thinking about maybe going in front of the safety, not behind him. So a little miscommunication there for Columbus Grove.
If you're watching online on the OH report, you can really see the snow falling here in the 4th.
It's like Green Bay right now.
It was 70 degrees 4 days ago. Low snap bobbled. Renner has to scoop it off the turf. He is going to be hit hard and drop for a loss. Parker, Ketterman back there flexing the muscles. Loss of 1 on that play, make it 3rd and 11. Of course, as we transition into basketball season, Coach's Show continuing to roll on. Join Mike Sparks every Wednesday. Check it out on the Facebook page of WQEL and Crawford County Now. Big 3rd and 10 here.
Yeah, for the Eagles, you can't let up a play like this. They got to get the stop here.
2 on either side of the formation. Low snap. Renner's again off the turf. Pressure coming backside. Evades it. Renner still with it, and he goes down back at the 23-yard line. The longest developing play once again, Parker Ketterman.
I got to be honest with you. Half the guys out there literally stopped running. Watch on the edge rush here. Blitz comes in. He's got an opportunity. He almost stops for a second. He would have, if he comes running in, it's going to be a sack right from the get-go. But, again, Colonel Crawford keeps the pressure on. Good job by the defensive backs, and they get the stop there.
Ketterman got his big paws on him. Wasn't letting go. 4th and 16 following the sack, and Renner will have to punt from his 9. We'll see. Maybe bring the pressure here, Jeff.
Yep.
Vogt standing back at his 46.
Here it comes.
Renner gets it away clean. A low snap, not very good punt. It's bounce at the 47 and rolls into Eagle territory, but just to the 39-yard line. That's where Colonel Crawford will have it. 1st and 10. 7:01 on the game clock.
Yeah, they got, like I said, good opportunity here. I think Columbus Grove got a little bit of a break there with the lucky roll. But the field position in favor of the Eagles at this point in time with 7 minutes left on the clock. We'll see what they can come up with. Do want to once again thank our sponsors, North Central State College of Mansfield in the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus, the Burkhart family at Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer, Ted Coder at Monarch Body Shop in New Washington, and Firelands Federal Credit Union of Bucyrus, Gallia, Norwalk, and Bellevue.
Another score update, Van Wert 27, West Holmes 22. They are in the 3rd quarter. Eagle football 1st and 10. They'll swap the wing. Lohr fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it. Lohr left side, and he's going to get brought down for a loss. Nice play over there. Once again, it is 50, Tad Koch.
I think, one of the game plans should now be on every play, run 2 guys at Tad Koch. Every play, because he's all over the field. He's just so hard to block at his size. And middle linebacker, 6'3", 240. He comes through. He hits every hole. One guy's just not doing the job.
Vogt comes wide to the right. He's got a tight end inside of him. Tight end and a wing. Eagles 2nd and 11. Once again, Lohr has a snap, wanting to throw. Comes underneath, and it's going to be incomplete. I don't think he had a very good grip on it, looking for the tight end, McMichael.
Yeah. But I'll say this, that didn't work out so well, but I think we could see something that Colonel Crawford might be able to take advantage of. Koch, he's on coverage now. They drop him back a little bit, and you can see, he's a big guy, and he hits hard. We've been calling his name all night, but he does not have the speed to be able to run with even a McMichael in the open field there. And if you can match him up into some coverage, I think that could be a mismatch that the Eagles can take advantage of.
Clock stopped at 6:20, and they're going to have to find something quick, Jeff. 6:20 left in the ballgame. We're tied at 7. Eagles got their first and only touchdown back in the 1st quarter, the block punt, then the Cam Lohr touchdown. And the broken coverage got the Bulldogs a score. Deep downfield, they're looking for Maddie, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, that's good defense.
Lohr really aired it out. Maddie had a chance, but just a little too high, and now Crawford will be forced to punt.
And I get what Coach Berner and the coaching staff is looking at there. Jacob Maddie, 6'4", the two defenders back there on him, total combined height 6'4". So it's not gonna. They're trying to get it over the top, but the coverage is right there on top of them, and not able to sneak it in.
Kleinert back in the game to punt, try and get a clean one away. Kleinert has it. Let's go with it. They had some pressure. Ooh. They ran into him. No call.
No call.
Ball's going to bounce. It hit an Eagle back at the 25-yard line, and they'll cover it at the 20.
Man.
Kleinert looking right at the officials.
See the replay.
And here's the replay, courtesy of the OH report. Pressure on him, and they maybe ran into him, but I wouldn't call it roughing. But the officials, they've let him play all night.
Yeah, they sure have. And again, they're going to spot this ball down about the 25-yard line. So 75 yards in front of Columbus Grove here in a defensive battle.
Jesus.
Unbelievable. Second week in a row. Second week in a row of defensive struggle here for Colonel Crawford.
1st and 10, 6:05. We're tied at 7. 2 to the right. A wing and a wide receiver left side. Motion man, and the give is to Barraza. Barraza spins over the 30, goes down at the 31-yard line. Decent carry on first down for Barraza. Pretty good alleyway, and give him 6.
I'll say this, Barraza is getting some yards he was not getting in the first half. In the first half, Colonel Crawford was all over him. Now he's getting a little bit more space. It's like, guys getting a little more tired out there. Some opportunities are there for the Bulldogs in the running game.
2nd and 4, and the ball is fumbled back at the 27-yard line, and Columbus Grove able to fall on it. The exchange between Renner and Barraza was about as sloppy as you could get, but Barraza able to cover it up.
Yep, it was
Renner
never
never had
pitch.
it clean.
Yeah, Renner was it was gonna be a little mini pitch play, and it just slipped right out of his hands, like you said. I mean, he never had a good handle on it. And it becomes a 3rd down, about 8 yards now for Columbus Grove. Again, these plays are the ones that, for both defenses, you can't give this up. That's for sure.
5 minutes left in the ball game. 7-7. Rolling right. Renner wants to throw. Pressure backside.
McMichael!
McMichael had a chance at a pick 6. They were looking backside for Barraza. And it's incomplete.
He read it so
McMichael could
well.
have walked in the end zone.
Oh, he read it perfectly. He was watching the quarterback's eyes, and he made a break on it. But he just undercut. He undercut it a little bit, and had to reach up in the air. If he's a half-inch taller, he's got that in, and he's going into the end zone. Great play by Ryan
No
McMichael.
gloves for McMichael tonight.
I appreciate
Maybe
that.
needed him on that play, but either way, a good stop, and they force the Bulldog punt.
Can they get another block here? Nope. They'll pull it back.
Renner gets it away clean. Not a great punt. Bounces at the 50, but Vought's going to try and return from the 41. Instead goes down to a knee, and the Eagles, once again, with great starting field position, 4:41 to go in the ballgame.
I got to be honest with you. If you look at that, they let the first defender just let him go. And I think the idea of it is just let Vogt beat that guy man-to-man. Kyle Lathrop is the guy coming downfield for Columbus Grove. Nobody blocks him, and then they're blocked. We're just going to worry about everybody else. But, when he picked up the ball, when Vogt did, and he starts running, he never got good footing. Again, the snow is starting to sit a little bit on the field, so it gets a little bit slicker.
1st and 10, 4:41 to go in the game. Lohr has it, and he's going to look to run left side. He is corralled at the line of scrimmage and goes down. We'll give him forward progress to the 40.
Yep, they just cannot get anything going on this offensive attack. Again, they're trying different things here, and they'll go with Lohr again on that run, who early in the game was having their most successful offensive plays, but now that's come up empty. Colonel Crawford is struggling to move the football. That has been an issue for him all game long.
Time beginning to become a factor. 2nd and 10, 4 minutes in the ball game. Play clock down to 7. Motion, and Lohr has the snap, wanting to run again. Has the 45, Lohr into open space, and that's going to be right at the marker. I think he's going to be about a half-yard shy, but a great scamper there by Cam Lohr. He'll get him a very manageable 3rd and short.
Was hoping that they might be able to, the tackle from behind pushed him forward past that first down marker, but they'll say he's about a half-yard short.
Good kick-out block there by Micah Thomas to make that play happen. Lohr's feet gets him at 3rd and a foot.
And remember, I mean, again, you got 2 plays to get a foot, so they can go straight ahead with this thing.
Double tight, 2 receivers to the right. Lohr has the snap. He's going to run it again. He's got the first down.
There we go.
He just needed to get it into Bulldog territory, and he does. Now, 3:18 to play in the ball game. See what Coach Bruner decides to do. Do you take a shot on 1st and 10? Sometimes you see coaches get that big first down and really look to take that shot downfield. They're at the 48 of the Bulldogs.
I got to be honest with you. If I'm Coach Bruner, I think I start slowing it down a little bit. Keep it on the ground. See if you can keep doing this, because eat the clock away too. And maybe you can get the points that way.
Eagles have 3 timeouts. Here's Kleinert with some room to run. Gets a lead block out in front, and Kleinert able to get 6 on first down. He had Ketterman out there in front of him.
Yep.
Ketterman just missed the block on Barraza, I think. If that Kleinert could still be running.
Yeah, you know what? I think he actually slipped as much as he missed the block.
Ketterman really wanted to play.
Yeah, he did.
Barraza
He got
there.
up. He got up. Like, oh, that was my guy.
Got to keep your head up.
Yep.
2:20 to go in the ball game. 2nd and 5. Lohr again wants to run it, but a whistle, flags fly.
Oh, and there's an offsides or. It's going to be a procedure penalty here on Colonel Crawford. So the 5 yards they just got, they're going to give it right back to him.
Back it up, 2nd and 10 now. They stop the game clock at 2:18. Of course, stay tuned after the ball game. Davy Jones waiting back at station control. Another edition of the Friday Night Phone Board coming your way. 4th quarter update, Crestview and Columbia. It is 6-12, Columbia on top.
Ooh. Winner plays this game, and obviously close games all over.
2nd and 10. The Eagles go trips right, tight end left. It's going to be a run to Kleinert. Kleinert on the left side, breaks 1, breaks 2. Kleinert's still driving, and he's up close to the 42-yard line where he goes out of bounds.
No, they're going to say he stayed inbounds.
Okay, they'll say he stayed in at the 43.
Yep.
Okay, they'll bump it up. All right, it is the 42-yard line. Game clock still rolling at 1:45. Crawford with 3 timeouts, the Bulldogs with 2. Bruner sends him to the line. Lohr in a gun with Kleinert on his right hip. Horsley, Vogt, wide right. He's got a double tight set. Lohr has the snap. He's going to keep it on the ground. And Lohr hitting the backfield, able to keep it alive. Maybe got a yard. And now it's a big 4th down now, Jeff.
Where it gets so interesting, because it's like, all right, like obviously most of the time everybody would say you go for it. It's 4th down. There's a minute left in the game. But obviously you can pin it and play for overtime too. I mean,
Coach Bruner not taking a timeout.
Nope.
In the leg of Braxton Morton might be the deciding factor.
That's what I was going to say. Not from here, it's not. But
he's going to have to get a chunky yard.
But he's going to eat this thing down and then call the timeout. That'll leave him one more. He's going to take this thing down as low as he can go before he takes that timeout.
Play clock down to 3. And
there
here it is. Timeout taken with 46 seconds on the clock. You're listening to WQEL 92.7 FM, streaming on WQEL.com, and watch live on the OH Report. We'll take a timeout. 46 seconds left from Donnell Stadium. We'll be right back.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
41.
Going under center for this. See what they're going from the bag of tricks. See what they can get.
Motion right to the left is Micah Thomas. He's the wing. Fullback behind Lohr.
Hard
now
count.
He might change it.
Going to try to do the hard count, see if they can get him to jump.
He snaps it. Fakes the handoff. They're going to run into the flats. He's got a man out there. Incomplete.
Yep.
Tried to leak the tight end McMichael into the flats. It was number 20, Shep Hawker, in coverage, and the pass a little high for McMichael. He needed to throw it about 2 steps, maybe 3 steps sooner, right when McMichael came out of his break.
Yeah.
But
he was
the
there.
Eagles turn it over, and the Bulldogs have a chance with a 1 timeout.
Yep.
Or actually, they have 2.
They got 3. They got 3 of theirs. So, you know.
Yeah, they're off timeouts on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
the Eagles have 2. Bulldogs with 3.
Yeah, it's 3 timeouts for – it's 2 for or 1 for Colonel Crawford, 3 for Columbus Grove. So
1st and 10 Bulldogs. Renner wanting to throw. Now he steps up, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield.
That's a big sack because they're going to have to burn one of those timeouts right now.
Parker Ketterman. What a play.
Oh.
Parker came from the right defensive end position, shed the block of the left tackle, and brought down Renner for a loss of 5. Stops it with 35 seconds.
You know, I've been joking for about 3 years that I felt like Parker Ketterman was in school for 7 years because we were just calling his name so much over the years. But I'll tell you right now, as a senior, and we've been watching him, now that he is a senior and this is going to be our last season with him, it's going to be tough. I'm going to miss watching him play. He is so stinking good. I'll tell you what, it's impressive every game.
Bulldogs taking a timeout. We'll see what they want to do here on 2nd and 14. We're tied up at 7. Of course, they can try to just play for overtime, not do anything too crazy, and risk a turnover.
Well, and part of it is you got to kind of think about it and say, well, you know, who's had more success in terms of offensive moving the football? I mean, do we feel like in an overtime setting that, you know, we're going to be able to get the points on the board or get the stop from them? It's against them. It does dictate a little bit what you do in the play calling because they almost threw a pick on their last drive that, you know, would have changed the fortune of the game.
2nd and 14. Here goes
Another
Renner.
pressure.
He's going to let go of it to Barraza in the flats. Gets off 1. Barraza moving his legs at the 40. Almost dropped it. Still going at the 42, and he's pushed out of bounds. That will stop the clock with 25 seconds.
Yep, got about 5 on the play, but Colonel Crawford doing a nice job flowing to the football.
Good block out there by number 7, A.J. Schaefer. It'll bring up 3rd and 8. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Barraza in a slot right. Renner has it. 3-man rush by the Eagles, and he's just going to keep it. Renner, center of the field, and not a lot of room. Gain of 2 yards. And
I got to assume that's going to be the
Ketterman
last
trying to
play.
force a fumble on that.
Yeah, Renner got up. He looks like he's hurt a little bit. Like he's shaking that arm. Like that didn't feel terribly good. Again, there is the timeout called, but it's 4th down and 6 now, and I wasn't sure if they were just going to say, all right, you know, obviously, you know, they got 1 timeout left, but not exactly an ideal situation to try to figure out, like, what do we got that gets us 55 yards against a team that we haven't been able to get that much or even half that all game long, It seems like. So, I didn't know if Columbus Grove was just going to say, we're going to probably have to eat this thing because I can't imagine that, Colonel Crawford is kind of thinking the same way. They're thinking defense. Maybe if they can get a big sack or get something in the backfield, maybe they take a crack offensively for a big play. But it's going to be interesting to see how this goes.
4th and 6 from the Bulldog 45-yard line.
They are lining up for the punt.
Yeah, the Bulldogs coming out to punt. Renner at his 32. We'll try and get it away. Vogt drops back to the 25. Eagles going to come after it. Renner has it and just barely got it away clean. Vogt has a chance from the 26. Vogt up the left side. Vogt at the 40, and he's going to go down at the 41-yard line, and Crawford has 8 seconds.
Well, I was going to say, does anybody have the film for Remember the Titans? What was that play call? You know,
I'm not sure.
I was going to say, they're going to
Coach Boone out here.
Yeah, they're going to need to come up with something interesting. It does feel like, again, 8 seconds. They've got one timeout, but they're not going to have enough time to, throw a ball super downfield, and so again, they got to get creative. I mean, like what I'm saying is, it's going to take them time to get those guys downfield. They're going to have to catch it, drop immediately, call the quickest timeout ever. So, but they can't, mess around out there trying to make it happen.
8 seconds on the clock. It's going to be Lohr, joined by Kleinert in the backfield. 2 receivers.
Oh, there's the kneel down.
Nope, he's just going to walk up and take the knee. So we're headed to overtime here at Donnell Stadium in Findlay. 7-7. Colonel Crawford and the Columbus Grove Bulldogs will be back with the extra period right after this.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend, we heal, we repair, we sow, we plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schiefer. Schiefer finds a hole at the center. Schiefer turns on the burners. Schiefer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schiefer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Those two teams, I think, were both undefeated going into that game, if my memory serves correctly. So, again, neither one of them are going to be a pushover. And again, great game here, too.
Overtime rules here in high school football in the state of Ohio, similar to college. You start at the 20-yard line.
Yep.
You have a chance for a first down, and it'll just go back and forth. Bulldogs with it, 1st and 10. At the Eagle 20, Renner in the gun. He's got it back to his right. Schaefer will shuffle motion left to right. Renner has the snap. He's going to keep it on first down. He is hit and drops. Nowhere to go. That is Gabe Thu making the stop.
Man, I'll tell you what, he was right there on top of that ball immediately. Absolutely immediately. Just no place for a runner to go. And again, I'm telling you right now, in this game, with the way these two defenses are playing, 20 yards is not going to be easy to pick up for either one of these teams. I think the real question is whether or not seeing the end zone in front of them is going to be able to adjust and get these guys running a little bit. It's like, oh, man, we don't have 80 yards. We only got 20. So we'll see if things change up here.
Here's a pistol on 2nd and 10. They swing it. Barraza.
That's a fumble.
He's looking upfield. He's got to go back and cover it up. Now the white hat official coming in and saying it's an incomplete pass. But we're going to look with the replay of the OH report.
I think so. Let's see. I mean, again, maybe I didn't have the best angle.
Renner
but
is going to
27-yard line. That is a lateral.
That is a fumble.
I'm telling you right now, that is a fumble, absolutely.
By 1.5 yards.
Yep.
It was a backwards pass.
And they're going to talk about it. Now, the officials are talking about it. And again, now, understand, Barraza did cover it, so it's not a turnover. But it would make it third down from the, 31, 32-yard line. 32-yard line is where this ball should be. I mean, not doing that, it's going to save them 12 yards.
And there's
replay
the official
second
call.
Down. They're replaying second down.
How can you replay a down? Coach Bruner is going berserk on the Colonel Crawford sideline.
Right. Should be losing his mind.
It's a fumble.
It's a fumble.
Back at the 32-yard line, and they're going to replay second down.
No, like that. Look, that is horrific in every way. Like, it's one thing to say, okay, we missed the fumble, but to now just negate the play, it should at least be an incompletion.
Here's going to be a handoff to Schaefer. Schaefer's wide open up the middle. He's still moving down to the goal line. He's going to go down at the 2-yard line. What a break for the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. Unbelievable here in overtime. They get an extra play on second down.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. I mean, and when you make a play like that, it takes the wind out of the sails. It's a momentum shifter. So they do that quick handoff up the middle, and obviously Schaefer ends up getting a nice little run right there. Got some nice holes. But again, it's literally just the type of play that changes the momentum. Officials have let them play all game long, and then they finally just said, we'll get involved.
Now they're changing the rules.
Now we're going to get involved. A terrible play.
1st and goal from the 2-yard. Fumble the snap. He is drilled back at the 6-yard line.
We got to replay that.
Burkhart Ketterman, come get some. He just drilled Renner for the sack.
Yeah, that's a loss of about 3 yards, and Columbus Grove's super lucky because that ball hit the ground, and Ketterman got there right as the runner was picking that football back up.
I got your extra play right here.
Yep.
Ball now back at the 6.
Going to make it second down from the 6-yard line now.
They're going to split a guy wide right, 2 to the left. Hawker is the slot left side. The give is to Schaefer. Schaefer trying to bounce left side. 2 missed tackles, and Schaefer able to stumble to the 3-yard line.
See, he's tough to stop when he only needs to get a couple of yards. Like, that's the problem. The way he runs, got a nose for that end zone. Wouldn't be surprised to see them go to him at least, not only this time, but it's third down. They might go for it on 4th if they don't get it for here, and it might be Schaefer both times.
Here's the Bulldogs, 3rd and goal from the 3.
Got to put your eye on A.J. Schaefer, that's for sure.
Schaefer is the deep back left side of Renner. Low snap. They give it to Schaefer again, and he's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Second score of the night for the Columbus Grove Bulldogs, and they take their first lead here in overtime. They lead 13-7.
Yep, that was, again, nice run right there. And, again, don't want to take anything away, but it's just, unfortunately, the touchdown right there really mired in a lot of questions. Let's just put it that way. I mean, after them negating what should have been a fumble and at least minimally an incomplete pass to re-give them the play, and for them to be able to next play again. When you take a play like that with a bunch of high school players, forget high school, even at the upper levels, it really impacts the play. I mean, coaches times they need time to kind of reestablish things on defense or whatever. Next play, they get a big run, and now they're in the end zone.
And it's Shep Hawker on for the extra point.
Flag came in.
It is up and through. Flag is down, though.
And Now,
this could be big. A
yeah,
false start
again,
against the offense
don't
is going
wanna-
to force
yes,
Hawker
exactly.
to back up.
Hawker is going to end up having to kick this one again, and I'm going to tell you, like that's the hope. If you're Colonel Crawford, is the backup yardage makes it a little bit harder. Now he kicked that one through with no problem. I mean, he had plenty of distance, but a shank becomes big in this situation.
Eagles will try and come after it again. 13-7. Hawker, ball down at the 15. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Hawker makes it a 7-point game, 14-7. Eagles with the football in overtime when we come back.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Kleiner.
Back here on WQEL 92.7 FM, WQEL.com, as well as the OH Report. Kleiner takes the first down carry for a loss of 1. So now the Eagles looking at 2nd and 11 here in overtime. Trailing by 7. Lohr in the gun, back on his right. Fakes it to Kleiner. Lohr wants to throw.
Looking the end zone,
Looking
but
right
there.
side, and it's deflected. And then the deeper receiver had a chance at it. I believe that was number 8.
Bruner?
Was that Caden? Yeah, Caden Bruner had a chance on the deflection,
Oh.
but couldn't haul it in.
Yeah,
Lohr initially looking for McMichael.
Yep. And Bruner's right behind him, like 3 yards. And I think he just overthrew McMichael, and it hit Bruner right in the hands, but I don't think he was expecting it, and it bounces loose.
Now 3rd and 11 for Crawford. Trying to keep this magical season alive. Eagles will send Kleiner to a wing left. Vote outside of him. Here's Lohr to throw. Trying to set up a screen. Lohr now stepping up, and he's going to be sacked. Cam Lohr goes down back at the 28-yard line. 62, Kyle Lathrop making the play.
Coach Bruner might want to consider, timeout, something like that, talk things over, because you get it 4th down, you need forever. Or maybe just to, convince the officials that they should replay it.
Yeah, why not?
It just seems fair. I don't know.
I would think so.
You owe us at least that one.
Now a timeout taken by the Bulldogs on what is the ball game. 4th and 17. Columbus Grove takes the timeout. We'll do the same. Bulldogs 14, Eagles 7. It's coming down to this. We'll be right back.
And now they need one big here.
Lohr in the gun on 4th and long. Vote left, 2 to the right. He's going to step up. Lohr at the 30, wanting to throw, extending the play. Lohr escapes. He's got to run for it. Lohr at the 20, diving for the 15, And that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Cam Lohr forced out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And Columbus Grove celebrating here at Donnell. They will move on to play Columbia Station, Columbia.
Good win for Columbus Grove. I mean, they played some great defense today. Unfortunately, it was just done so where Colonel Crawford fans, players, the coaches are going to have a lot of questions about how this thing ended in the end. Again, bad officials call and
controversial ending.
A lot of controversy,
to say
there.
The least.
Yes,
here in Findlay,
they have every right to feel incredibly disappointed.
Pass ruled an incompletion. Then they give it an extra down on the next play. Schaefer takes it into the red zone, or excuse me, into the inside the 5-yard line, I should say. And that's the rest is history. Columbus Grove gets the W tonight here in Week 13, 14-7 over the Colonel Crawford Eagles. They move on to play Columbia Station, Columbia next Saturday night. We'll be back to wrap things up inside the Ken Standing Seam post-game show when we come back. Wow.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend. We heal. We repair. We sow. We plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schroeder. Schroeder finds a hole at the center. Schroeder turns on the burners. Schroeder could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schroeder with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
That would have backed Columbus Grove up at least 12 yards.
Yeah. Put them at the 32-yard line.
Put them at the 32-yard line. Instead, they go back to the 20, second and 10, replay second down, and Columbus Grove's able to put Aaron Schiffer to the 3-yard line, and then they punch it in for the score.
I think one of the things that people need to understand about the reason that is so big is, you could say, yeah, but they still had to run. They still made a big run on the next play, and it's like, yeah, but they probably don't call that play if they're looking at third and 22. They definitely am not doing that. But even if they're looking at third down and 10, they probably don't make that play call.
Right.
And even if they do, Colonel Crawford is probably a little bit more adjusted and ready for it. I think that the replay of down really kind of put them on their heels a little bit, where they were a little confused. They were kind of like, I don't understand even what's going on here. And then all of a sudden, bam, Columbus Grove runs a ball, and Schaefer gets him 18 yards down to the 2-yard line. And obviously from there they're tough to stop. I mean, we knew. And that's the case with both teams. Look, when Colonel Crawford got the ball at Columbus Grove's 4-yard line, they scored. I mean, if they only had to go 5 yards, these teams were going to be able to do it. But unfortunately, going 20, I said the overtime was no guarantee. I didn't think it was going to be any picnic tonight because both of these teams were having a hard time moving 10 yards to get first downs.
Exactly.
So, I thought it could be very tough, and you could see it right there. Colonel Crawford couldn't make it happen at the end. But I don't know that Columbus Grove could, they're going to be ecstatic to have the victory. But ultimately, I think there's a piece of them, and more importantly, the Colonel Crawford faithful, that should probably look at it and say, given another situation, it probably wouldn't have landed exactly the same way.
Going to be a tough drive back to Crawford County tonight as the Eagles fall 14-7 here in week number 13. You're listening to the Ken Standing Seam postgame show, brought to you by Ken and Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam. Phone Matt today at 419-544-6275. That's Matt Stewart at 419-544-6275. Get the last roof you will ever need, folks. Whether it's your new home, new business, existing building, pole barn, whatever it is, if you need a new roof, phone Matt Stewart today. Get the last roof you will ever need. No more stress, no mess. Let those guys take care of you the right way and get you a roof that's guaranteed for your life and beyond. That's Matt Studer at Ken Standing Seam, 419-562-6275.
Let's take a look at the final numbers here. We'll start things off for our Colonel Crawford Eagles, where they were led on the ground. 17 carries, 87 yards in the touchdown run for Cam Lohr. Matt Kleiner, 15 carries for just 26 yards. Couldn't get anything going with him. Tanner Dyer, 2 carries for 6 yards. Trevor Vogt, a carry for 6 yards. And Micah Thomas, 3 carries, 4 yards. So as a team, 38 carries, 125 yards on the ground. Lohr throwing the football goes 8 of 15 for 47 yards. 3 catches for Kleiner for 15 yards. It was 2 catches for Trevor Vogt, 7 yards for him. And then 1 catch apiece for Brian McMichael, 13 yards. Caden Bruner for 7, and Micah Thomas for 5. So again, 47 on the through the air, 125 on the ground. So again, only 172 yards of total offense in the game. Columbus Grove, led by A.J. Schaefer, got that touchdown run, and he led the team on the ground, 12 carries, 65 yards. It was Trent Barraza, 15 carries for 51 yards. It was Brenton Renner. He had 12 carries in the game for 14 yards, and Zach Reynolds had a carry for 1 yard. So as a team, 40 carries, 131 yards. It was Renner throwing the football, goes 10 of 23 for 98 yards. Does have the touchdown pass. That went to Zach Reynolds, 2 catches for him for 59 yards. Shep Hawker ends up with 27 yards on 4 catches. Trenton Barraza, 4 catches, 25 yards. And A.J. Schaefer, catch for 13 yards. 124 yards through the air, 131 on the ground to make up for 255 yards of total offense. And again, most of it in the second half. So good job by the Columbus Grove Bulldogs to be able to move on. But, just unfortunate, and especially for Colonel Crawford in the way it ended up happening.
A classic here tonight from Donnell Stadium. Final score, the Bulldogs 14, the Eagles 7, and just a defensive not a shutout, I don't want to say that, just a slobber knocker.
Yeah,
right?
it really
there
was
some hard hitting. Week number 13, it's cold, it's wet, and just the fight in both these teams. Neither one wanted to be done. unfortunately, that's the way things go, and this magical season for Colonel Crawford comes to an end at the hands of the Columbus Grove Bulldogs. We also do have a final, Lucas and Danville. Danville coming all the way back.
Unbelievable.
To beat the Lucas 27-20. It was 20-0 at one point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And Lucas gave it away. So unfortunately, pretty much everybody in the area now is done for the most part.
Yeah.
Coming up on the OH Report, our MVP of tonight's game. So if you're streaming the OH Report online, be sure and stay tuned for that. And of course, if you're listening to us on WQEL, we've got the Friday Night Phone Board. Davey Jones waiting patiently back there. We'll be getting it to Davey here in just a few minutes. Final score here from Donnell Stadium. The Columbus Grove Bulldogs 14, the Colonel Crawford Eagles 7. A big thank you to everyone at Findlay High School. Back at Station Control, Harper and Tanya, thank you very much. All season long, it's been great. It's been a pleasure for myself. And Jeff, it's been great all season long, buddy. And we've got to see some great, really some phenomenal football, some games going right down to the wire. It's sad it comes to an end. But we're going to roll right into basketball.
Absolutely, right around the corner.
Yep, games Friday and Saturday night on WQEL and WBCO. So stay tuned for that. And, of course, I got to send a big thank you to the Colonel Crawford faithful, staying with us all season long on WQEL and WBCO. A great group of seniors, a great career, and it's just sad that it has to come to an end here tonight in Findlay. So that's going to do it for us here at Donnell Stadium in Findlay, Ohio. Once again, the final score, Columbus Grove 14, the Colonel Crawford Eagles 7. Stay tuned. Davey Jones and the phone board coming right up. For everybody here at Findlay, I'm Josh Stallings alongside Jeff Roberts saying good night and get home safe, everybody.
Back now with our Baker's Pizza player of the game, and I'm standing here with Columbus Grove's AJ Schaefer. AJ, huge victory for you and the boys tonight. Obviously got to talk to you and your dad, the head coach, just a little bit there. Tell me what this win means to you guys as a program, having to fight through that defensive battle that it was out there tonight and pulled away in OT.
I think it was a great team win. We gave a speech before the game, and we got to play as a team. To win this game, we got to come together, and I think we did that in the second half. I think we did a really good job playing some team defense, and I think our line really stepped it up and created some holes for me and our other running back, Trent Barraza, who's a great running back. And I think we did a really good job. So, sticking as a team, and this win was all team win.
What's it like to have that ability in the backfield to have not just one in yourself, but two guys who can run the ball and do it in different ways? How does that allow your offense to feel a little bit more comfortable and make defenses work harder about who are they going to have to try to stop?
Yeah, I mean, week to week, teams got a game plan for either me or our other running back, Trent Barraza, and I think he does a really good job of finding the seams. And I help him out by being more of a power runner. He helps me out by being a speed runner. So it's a two-back combo that team's got to prepare for, and I'm thankful to have him as a teammate. And he's only a sophomore, and he's really good. So it's very nice to have him in the backfield as well. So.
And then obviously with the win tonight, you move on to the regional finals. You'll take on Columbia Station. I know I talked a little bit with your dad about not so much known about them yet, but what do you need to do throughout the week this week? Anything similar to what you did to prepare for Colonel Crawford? Just what kind of things do you guys need to do to get ready for the regional final?
Definitely get a lot of film on them and do our research and watch a lot of film, play team defense, and win some games, you know. So all comes down to the team. So.
All right, and then a lot of people watching tonight, something we do here on the OH Report. If there's anyone that you want to give a shout-out to back home or that was at the game cheering you guys on, I'll give you a chance to do so.
I just want to shout out my family and that all made it, my cousins, grandma and mom, and I want to thank God for the win tonight. So.
All right, well, one last time, AJ Schaefer, our player of the game, sponsored by Baker's Pizza. Congratulations and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take one final break and be right here to wrap things up.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend. We heal. We repair. We sow. We plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schroeder. Schroeder finds a hole at the center. Schroeder turns on the burners. Schroeder could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schroeder with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Welcome back to Findlay, a snowy Findlay at that. Grove obviously getting the big victory tonight in overtime over Colonel Crawford. We'll break down the final stats for you real quick. Total rushing yards on the evening for Colonel Crawford. They finished at 125. Kamryn Lohr, quarterback, finished at 8 of 15 on the night for 47 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. On the other side for Columbus Grove, they had 10 for 98 yards. And then Landon Best had a throw as well. He went 1 of 2 for 26 for a total of 11 completions on 25 attempts and 124 yards. It was 7-7, and then things went into overtime where Columbus Grove was able to score, and then Colonel Crawford, we stopped on 4 downs. So one last time, we'll bring up your final score. Colonel Crawford 7, Columbus Grove 14. Colonel Crawford ends their season at 10-3, and Columbus Grove will face Columbia Station next week for a regional championship. One last time, I'd like to thank our sponsors tonight, Scout Construction LLC. With more than a decade of business, you can trust Scout Construction with your roofing and siding needs. Call Scout Construction for more information at 419-989-7240. First Federal Community Bank, banking locally just got a little easier. Baker's Pizza, we are proud of our service to the community and even more proud to be the place to go after every local game or to watch your favorite team in action. Come join us today for a great meal and a great time with friends or family. Schroeder Roofing, if you're looking for a reliable, trustworthy, and efficient roofing company, look no further than Schroeder Roofing. Whether you need help on a small project or a larger job, we want to take the load off your shoulders by providing our specialized services. And Burkhart Farm Center, farmers helping farmers. Stop into their location in Bucyrus. And that will be it for us, though. Thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight to watch live and free high school football. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the OHSA and athletic department here in Findlay. But that'll be it. Columbus Grove with the 14-7 victory. Tune in live and free to the Friday night pitch game later tonight around midnight, and we'll see you on a stream near you.